Welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are back in Waterdeep in D&D 5th edition for session 26 of the Forgotten Ones. So take it away, GreatDinn.
Hey, hi, hello everybody, welcome back. I should do introductions first. Hello, I am GreatDinn. I do the DMing and this game. This is a Dungeon of the Mad Mage module with a bit of a twist, and joining us as always, we have Yuliy, played by AvisEcho.
I had a sneeze that was coming and now it's gone. Hate you.
Sorry. We have.
It's all your fault.
It is my fault. She looked at a light, and in this case, the light was the computer screen. We have Lander Brightwood, played by Azure Mountain.
Hey there.
We have Victor, played by DigoDragon.
I'm actually a wolf in Lander's clothing.
Oh. We have Jhank, played by Space Jawa.
Roar.
And we have Usk of House Castellanter, played by Newbiespud.
Hello there. Also, yeah, I completely forgot about that revelation last time.
Yep. So when last we left our adventurers, they had managed to successfully track down, or rather, convinced a meeting to occur between the particular group of mercenaries that had captured Victor's erstwhile apprentice. And they met one Merlin Yanish, and a dwarf whose name they did not get, and an Aasimar who was simply known as my brain is shorting out.
A jerk.
A jerk to Yuliy. Yes, it was a Paladin of Truth.
Something along the lines of Truth Seeker.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was Arbiter.
Not that specifically.
Oh, here we go.
Might have been that.
Supplicant of Truth. That was the name.
Ah.
I knew I had used a particular word, and I just couldn't think of that one particular word for whatever reason. They met the three of them and the erstwhile apprentice on top of the Sahuagin humbled statue, and it went.
It went.
Yeah.
A deal was brokered that between the groups that Merlin would ensure that the apprentice was taken care of once the reveal that the party couldn't really leave the city came to be known. And Merlin promised that they would ensure that the people who were really looking for Victor would be on their way and that his apprentice would not be harmed in the process.
So we did actually learn one of the dwarves' names, because I'm pretty sure Merlin called him Ivar at some point.
Yeah, he did say Ivar once. So yes, you would have gotten that name, but not the full name, I don't think.
Yeah.
Great at preparation, maybe less so OPSEC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they, upon the sort of reveal that everything except for the warding runes that had been placed on top of the statue, which nobody's really gonna remove, none of them.
Yeah.
So that might cause problems later. They were
Might
actually
need to alert someone to fix that.
Yeah, they were actually at the Lady Dreaming of the Statues of Waterdeep, and seemingly teleported out of there. So from there, the group has decided to check various sources. Victor with his book, Lander has gone to check his room at some point. And yeah, where would we like to begin? This can be immediately after those events, or time skip, however you'd like to do it.
Well, we've got time to kill until the meeting occurs, I imagine. Probably a matter of some days.
Oh yeah, it's I believe when you spoke with the priest at the Northern Temple of Shantae, he had said something like the group had traveled some 3 weeks or something like that, or where they had come from.
That's a ways off. I don't know what everyone else's goals was, but my next step was to sort of retrace our steps to the dragon horde, the horde of dragons, rather, the coins.
Mm-hmm.
Did
The dragon's horde of dragons.
Yeah. I figure if we retrace our steps of the heist somehow, we can maybe get some insight as to where we stashed the 500,000 coins.
Okay.
Because we know that I've got mine all hooked up in the Castellanter crypt stash for safekeeping. But we've got some cryptic clues as to the rest.
Were you going back to the
And-
castle for a dossier on that illusionist?
I would have my next step in character probably would have been to alert my contacts at the Castellanters and be like, this guy is crossing our path. Can I get a dossier on him at some point? Thanks.
They'll they will drop one off to you later today. Just, as long as you
All
tell
right.
them where you'd like it.
In my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, probably just my safe house will do. Make sure we stop by there before we leave.
They will get that to you then. Oh,
But yeah, I don't actually know where to start on retracing the steps of the heist.
I'm sorry, I've been staring at the Knowledge of Dragons note and now I'm going
Yeah, me too.
I have
So-
actually got cross-eyed help.
We could probably check the churches, see if we can find that one.
I think that'd be too obvious.
It might be.
The
Yeah.
only one that's like only the last three or the 3 and 4 are really vague. One is Usk, and that's we know where that is. The ship is most likely Jhank, and that's probably the
Yeah.
ship that's on its way, so we can't do anything about that anyway.
So
Yeah, 3 and 4.
Yes.
to read them off again, because it's been a while. A
Okay.
grave to save a life, a ship to build a nation, a realm removed to learn from the death of a fake, a dream to protect the waking, and a church to revive a god.
Has Jhank used his vision power today?
He has not.
Oh, okay. Here's an idea. If we have Usk's, if we know where Usk's is, if it hasn't been used, if it's set aside,
Usk.
the idea is we go to that. Jhank takes a look and tries to use the vision on that horde.
And to locate one of the other two, or would it only focus on yours? Because I think
Well, even if it just tells us where Jhank's portion is, that's still a step forward, isn't it?
I still have a feeling that Jonks is on that ship that's coming in at some point.
yeah, that's just what I'm just sitting doing devil's advocate or tiefling's advocate for a second.
So
But if it only focuses on yours, then if anything, it would just confirm that it's on yours, on your ship.
Assuming it's actually on the ship right now and it's not somewhere else to be given to the ship.
to
Yeah.
clarify something real fast, the way Zhank's visions work are, one, it's of the future, and anything past related he gets as it's like notes from himself related to it. So the visions are still of the future.
So in theory,
Can your future self just kind of tell you where this stuff is?
I mean, doubtful, but it's not impossible.
so in theory, the future part could be like us in the future finding one of these.
Possibly.
So I'm not clarifying this well enough, I think, and it's because it's difficult. You know how in Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan experiences all points of time at the same time?
Yeah.
That's kind of what Zhank's visions are doing.
Ow.
He is seeing the future. He is in the present, seeing the future, and speaking with the past. It's all sort of merged into one.
Okay.
Jhank is now Dr. Manhattan.
That's a terrifying,
That is
terrifying thought.
terrifying.
Where did he get his doctorate?
It's a wonderful, wonderful thought, but it's terrifying. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
The best
Wait.
kind of terrible thought.
It's on the Castellanter property, ain't it?
Yeah, they're not gonna let you guys in, is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, they won't.
That's fine.
They won't know who we are, per se,
Well,
but
they can probably let us and Jhank in, but the other three, especially with what just happened,
what just happened?
knowing that you guys
Fine.
are flip-flopped.
Ah, right.
Eh.
Oh,
Well,
but did that happen before or after?
I have a feeling it happened
the saying
around
of-
the time of that first vision that Yuliy had.
Because
But I did want Victor to ask his goddess about that, because she should know.
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that the information I got about the actual heist part, I didn't get from a drink. I got it from Sola. So it's not something that I can poke of, hey, which one of them did I see at that time?
You know what just occurred to me is that we all have these methods of obtaining information, and we would have had to keep it secret from as many of them as possible so that the others couldn't abuse it to steal each other's shares.
Well,
Well, I had been using it for a very long time.
and mine is
Ah.
just so garbled that I'm the only one who can make it out.
I mean, that doesn't mean people can't ruin it, but
Yeah, but
But anyway, I mean, if there's nothing else, I mean, I'm not sure if we're expecting Jhank to use it for anything else specifically today. So, I mean, I figure it's at least worth a shot to see if maybe it
Do
can
you
get
have to like touch the thing in order to get the vision?
no, he just has to see it.
Okay.
So he still
he
has
has to be
he still
there.
has to be near it.
Yeah.
So
And it'll show you like the future of where it is, but not necessarily the past of where it was.
I don't think me or Jhank really understand it. It's just the knowledge that it works somehow.
You know, this is a flimsy plan, but it's the best we got.
it
I'm
really is.
up for this, but
I would have no problems with just the two of you going in because you can go into the
Yeah.
Castellaners really easy, and Jhank, to our knowledge, was not
isn't
part-
involved with any of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know if the Castellanters hate his guts and want him dead, but we know that he probably isn't in that category.
It's possible that the Castellanters are the one group in Waterdeep and Skullport that don't want Jhank dead.
To clarify
Well-
one other thing, I do believe that Victor did look into why he had the hand, why he specifically had the hand. I just don't know.
Did you?
Huh?
My hand, you mean? My
Yeah.
cut-off hand?
Yes, the
Yeah.
cutoff hand.
Because that was a lot of question that I really needed an answer to.
I think you also got something else from it too.
Yeah, I think so.
feel like sharing?
Well, we have a downtime moment. Sure.
All right.
We have a downtime moment now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, we're planning on a thing to split up, so
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I
We're-
was. Wait.
To something else of note, because I mean, there are so many tools that is super understandable to have forgotten some. It is a new day, which means you do have access to the Stone of Galore.
Which is
Yeah, that'll-
back in Waterdeep. Not Waterdeep.
That'll wait.
Skullport.
That'll wait till our next visit to Skullport. But yeah, and also, actually, she is currently on the 5th floor helping out with that. So
Is, but you didn't bring her whole ass house down there.
Yeah. So
True,
we could
but
just go
we-
down there and rummage through her stuff till we find it.
I don't think
Yeah, that
that's a good
sounds safe.
idea.
Yeah.
Rummage through the cursed stuff.
Rummage through the cursed
Yep.
horde of a dragon. Yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea.
I would kind of prefer her to be there so that she can handle the curse uncursed stuff.
She
Well,
probably
Without us.
also
Someone doesn't
attuned
like
to
us
it,
anymore.
Yeah, she also probably attuned to it. Yeah.
so we'd have to break the curse to unattune it and then reattune and then do it again.
Or just ask her when she's holding the stone. I don't know.
Yep.
You got
That's
options.
probably the better option.
Could be.
Yeah, not having to do the whole curse on curse thing that is kind of harmful to us and the stone. Maybe we can avoid that.
It also doesn't
Yep.
like us all that much anymore.
Yeah, no. Especially not me.
It does
We
not
gave it a
like-
better home.
Anyway.
I just
All right,
I
but
just
yeah,
figured I
that's-
would
that's-
bring up that is an option. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an option for when we get back to when we see her again. The next time we see her,
Also,
but, which
one-
may be a while.
One
Mhm.
thing I do consider, because it's probably going to be Usk and Jhank going off, and then the 3 Musketeers of Chaos sitting in a corner in Usk's house. Lander, has your patron anything lately?
I have not, no.
I have to ask a real quick question. Victor, Yuliy, and Lander are the trifecta?
I mean, we're the first 3.
It seems so.
We got the body swapping over here, and I exist. What do you want from me?
I mean, okay, yes, that whole situation sheds a heck of a light on Victor, but also in terms of chaos caused by this current iteration of us, which is a hell of a sentence.
I know.
I don't think Victor's been the agent of chaos.
Myself from it.
I think the trifecta of chaos in this particular group is Usk, Yuliy, Jhank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Us
kind of turned
and-
out that way.
Usk and Lander might be interchangeable, or at least early Lander.
Anyway.
Lander's changed a lot. He's gotten less morally ambiguous as time went on.
So who are we sending Hollyhock with?
Changed a lot. He's almost like
Hollyhock will stay with Yuliy.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, this
We're not
iteration.
We're not expecting any trouble at the Castle Lanters. I'm protected. You're with me.
And I mean,
we're not gonna.
you can also handle yourself, Jhank. You're
Yeah, no. You and I, we can handle ourselves just fine. If anything does come up in the Castle Lantern, oh dear.
Right.
You just said that out loud and realized what you said, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, just go down to that massively cursed place. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Where a bunch of devil worship rituals have taken place.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I haven't been down there since this latest amnesia incident, so who knows what kind of effects.
Mhm.
You'll be fine.
I'll just
Yeah,
get
it'll be
another
fine.
patron and then
I
kill
mean-
them.
In worst case scenario, if you want a third hand, you can just take Spider Victor.
Or if you want a third hand, well, no, we probably threw out your
Spider
other hand.
What? You just
Yeah, I saw that. That was the original joke I thought you were about to make, Avis.
good. Glad to know I'm really obvious.
All right. Yeah. It's a potential lead. Yeah, I'm okay with leading Jhank to the Horde and having him do his vision quest on it.
All right.
I mean, I would hope that this Jhank could be trusted not to try and steal your board.
I mean, given where it is, I'd love to see you try.
That is also a fair point.
I would not say that, because then he might actually try.
That's
Yeah,
that sounds like challenge accepted. And I'm almost
I'm
Yeah.
assuming that we're all on the same page of get the money to save the twins. I shared
Yeah.
that all with you, and
Because then we can
I
get the money from the Castle Lanters.
First
on
we
the
get the
page
money.
of if we pay off this and have the castle lanterns in our debt, then we just get all the money we need.
And
I'm
I
glad your heart's in the right
also-
place, Jhank.
I am
Hmm.
all for saving the kids in any way physically possible. I still do want to find out the 4 other reasons that we wanted the Horde. Because not
Well-
to downplay the kids at all, but all 4 of them had to be pretty heavy reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I
mean-
have said it before. I will say it again. I
We
will
found out
always
Hollyhock's
say
have your reason too, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
will
given our
always say
party,
these kids, whether with money or without, that's not the issue. I want to know what these other reasons were because they're potentially big issues.
Well, I mean,
given what we know about this past party, I could easily see 1 or 2 of those reasons just being basic greed.
it looks like Victor wants to revive a god, which,
And it looks like someone wants to build a nation.
yep, probably a nation of mind flayer killers, slayers.
Now that think about it, I think I might have an idea of what my reason was.
Yeah.
And now
And
I'm,
Want to share?
I'm making myself sad.
3 and 4 are vague, but I still think that Lander's is 3 and Yuliy's is 4, because Lander's all about learning and Yuliy's all about protecting.
Maybe.
I like how the objective of this campaign has gone from let's conquer the dungeon of the Mad Mage to let's figure out like what our horrible issues are and try to solve them once and for all.
And also conquer the dungeon
Let's
of the
solve
Mad
our
Mage.
trauma of the game. But you asked what what my
Conquering the dungeon of the Mad Mage is like a really far off goal. This is more
Yeah.
immediate.
Yeah.
I still want to do it
baby
though.
steps, baby steps, baby steps.
Still got to turn Xanathar into a sword.
Like we're functionally immortal, so like given like infinite amount of time, we will succeed. That's kind of my assumption.
So you did ask.
Well, there is a time crunch issue outside our immortality.
Yeah, but like if something topples the Mad Mage himself, then our immortality will stop being a problem. And we'll have a bigger problem.
Well, I'm thinking in
That being
terms
our
of
mortality.
we like time limits on, for example, saving the kids, saving the world from invasion.
Well,
That
so
are-
the
yeah.
kids we have 6 months. We knew that because that's when your next
Yeah.
ritual thing is.
That's when they become of age and are eligible to be claimed by the terms of the contract.
Yeah. So you guys should do your thing, and we should stop talking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just, what do the rest of you want to do while we go on our vision quest?
I'm gonna throw a piece of paper at Lander's head.
Okay. Rude.
Right?
We're just sitting and doing nothing. We're twiddling our thumbs. What do you want me to do?
Let's see.
I don't know if there's some other lead you can chase down. I don't know.
I mean, we could go ahead and just do a read along with Victor.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I got
do that.
time to ask questions, go through this book. You know.
Story time.
Story time with Victor.
Yeah. What happened when we swapped bodies?
And what was the last thing you wrote?
And why and how?
Something to do with the
When?
Feywilds, I assume.
We don't know.
That'll be a very strange episode of Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
There were also those other questions that I wrote down somewhere.
That image of
We've
reading.
just got.
I just pictured Reading Rainbow opening the Necronomicon.
I mean,
Just our notes page in Fantasy Grounds is just full of like what so many questions,
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a
WT.
lot of notes.
We can,
so many notes that lead to even more questions.
we can. Well, stuff is, I think, starting to get clarified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can update and consolidate stuff as the answers come. Get better.
All right,
Get our notes indexed.
I guess Usk and Jhank will have their little field trip, their life-changing field trip.
their bonding moment.
I guess.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's be.
All right, you guys are free to hang out at my safe house.
We're gonna have a book club.
Yay!
Yeah. Let's see if I can decipher Usk's writing.
Dibs on his chair. You can't stop me. You're leaving.
Nah, I'm not even like that annoyed you're doing it. It's just that, you know, we're still on this bit.
No, it's comfy.
It is. And someone might as well sit in it.
Yep.
Comfy, almost like it was, grabbed for very, very well-off bugbear, and custom made, and all sorts of similar.
Fits me
things.
perfectly.
Corinthian leather.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Mahogany.
I suppose I might also try, trying to enchant a dagger.
Yeah, you can go for it.
You can
All
also
right.
try and talk to your patron.
Could, but I don't really want to. He's difficult to talk to.
All right, well, Jhank, shall we go?
Yes, he said yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you make your way over to the excuse me, to the Castellanter Villa. Let me go ahead and pull up the player version. Good lord, it is so difficult to find all of the particular maps I need.
You have got so many.
I do. Here is the Castellanter grounds. Map is again very large, so you'll have to
I
forgive.
would imagine.
So yes, these are the Castellanter grounds. Let's go ahead and toss y'all towards the gate, which is going to be
Somewhere in here.
yeah. Sorry, I believe it is towards this area. Let me see if I can grab your characters to put on here.
Yes, I just see a wall with windows and a couple doors.
I go ahead and zoom out a bit.
Place a Jhank on the map. Place an Usk on the map. Y'all are on the map.
Also,
So,
crunch bite.
also a crunch bite. Sorry. Also a crunch bite. Boom. There's a crunch bite. So yes, it's the not the shall we say like main gate on the property, but this is the one that leads into the immediate area, the actual grounds. So yes, you are free to enter. Usk, you hear the sound of children playing in the courtyard.
Ah,
They are far enough away that they have not yet noticed you.
well, we're kind of on business, and I'll be honest. Bringing any of you guys with me into my home is just a huge risk,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really want to trouble anyone much.
Let's just get to the treasure, do our thing, and get out.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know exactly where it is other than in the crypt. I may need help, or we can just search for it ourselves. For now, let's find the entrance to the crypt, I guess, so we'll go inside.
Alrighty.
And try to give the children playing a wide berth.
There's plenty of room. The two are currently being watched by a tiefling maid.
Jhank will let Usk lead the way, and he'll just follow behind.
All right.
It sounds like, from what you can hear, the children are playing diplomats.
Ah.
That sounds like a great time.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you're a politically charged family, it's the children come up with interesting games based on the people they've seen.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Yes. So there's the main house is the one on the right, and then to the left, the upper left corner is the guest house, and the upper right corner is the stables. So that's roughly that's roughly how it's laid out.
In the center, is there a big old statue there that I see?
There is. That's part of the reason you can't be seen.
How much you want to bet the crypt is? There's a hidden entrance beneath that central garden.
That would be my first guess too.
I mean, y'all know that people just have mausoleums.
That's true.
It doesn't need to be secret.
Yeah.
Rich people like to bury their dead where they can keep an eye on the riches.
Yeah, that's true. I can't tell well, I guess I'll just roll perception to see if I can spot it. Nah.
All right, it's a little difficult for me to see what you rolled, and god Dang, all these maps. Yeah, I don't think a 4 is gonna do it. But you know, I bet you could just literally ask somebody.
Yeah. Well, they're the first people I can see, and I head over to where the children are playing, where the tiefling maid is, and try to get her attention.
Without the children noticing? Or
No, they can notice me. It's fine.
Jhank will wait semi behind the tree where, you know, he's not exactly hiding, but he's not standing out in the open.
Alrighty, then in that case, let me just pull up my NPC list real fast. I need some of these maps to not be so big. They're blocking just my everything.
Wow.
Are they already resized down to their smallest?
I've resized a lot of them smaller, but they're still just too much, and they're all stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm just gonna go ahead and, in general, have the 2 children. They are invested in this game.
Wow.
They do not notice you.
A 2
They
and a
must
1
be-
for wisdom.
They must be having a great time.
You can hear them arguing about ports? They don't seem to quite understand how boats work, though. They think that it really is. They're young enough. They kind of think that shipping is just literally moving ships from one port to another, and not like loading or unloading anything.
Yeah, boats just generate money by moving and traveling.
Yes,
So.
that is how boats do.
They're about to come of age in 6 months.
Come of age for the contract, not for like taking over a business. They are 9.
Yeah, no.
Ah, okay. Bit younger than I thought.
Yeah, no, they are 9.
I was thinking like 15.
No. I mean, the Osvaldo was like 16 when he was taken, but that's due to that whole nature of the contract. And it's been a few years. I'm probably actually being kind of like bad on like I'm sure 9-year-olds actually know how
it's hard
works,
to say. I don't remember what I knew when I was 9.
But
I mean,
yes.
I'm sure they have a lot of knowledge in other fields.
Yeah, probably.
Shipping and boats is largely escaped their interests.
Yeah. I'm sure they can have this conversation in like 4 different languages. But it would be the same kind of conversation. Anyway,
they're probably masters at manipulating people.
I don't know about that.
In the same way children are, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, children could be really manipulative if they want to be, and they know what
I
they're
don't
doing.
disagree.
The maid, you know, catches takes notice of you and steps over to you and asks, yes, Mr. Usk, how can I help you?
Yeah, can you direct me to the mausoleum? I have business in there. Just real quick.
Oh, very well. The mausoleum is, and let me double check that I'm grabbing the right version of this map. It is upper area. Which one goes down? Okay. She says, enter the main house, and in the foyer, if you take the stairs down into the cellar, the mausoleum is, it's. She sort of leans in. It's behind the wine cellar. You'll want to remove.
That's just a water deep thing, huh?
She sort of looks at you knowingly and goes, well, we don't exactly want the riffraff to go down there and see what all we have in store.
Well, naturally.
So yes.
You were saying it's some kind of special way to get inside, or?
Yes. In the south, on the south wall, there is a symbol of Seamorph. If you push it, the wall will open.
Thank you very much.
Happy to help. And she goes back to the kids.
All right. This way, Jhank.
Jhank will go around the outside of the tree.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, a bit hard to go inside of a tree if it doesn't have a hole in it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a power that lets you get inside trees.
I think
Probably.
so, yes.
Cough, druid, cough.
Yeah, cough, druid, cough. Not NPCs.
I think rangers get it too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, among other things, the Tyrioli, that sword used transport through plants, so that's definitely a thing. Anyhow, whoops, that is the Waterdeep map. Sorry, having some problems. Yes, you enter. The foyer is the room with the staircase going up. There's a staircase underneath it that goes down.
Okay.
So yes, you take the stairwell down, and you end up in the cellar. Which, let me see if I can pull up that. Son of a gun. Cellar.
A lot of maps for a lot of content that we're just kind of skipping through.
It's sort of, kind of, yeah. So yes, here is the cellar. You can see the stairwell that leads down into it. Let me just grab your character models and throw y'all in there. Whoop.
Toss down the stairs.
Well, there's only so much I can do. The invisible hand of the DM throws you down a flight of stairs.
I guess down here.
Yes, that's this.
There'd be
this area right here is where you see the holy symbol of Seamorph, and you can actually feel a draft coming through. Which seems to. Whoops, that is weird. It didn't actually form a cube. It's just a point. There we go.
This is pretty conspicuous on this map.
Yeah, it's in part because I didn't, blank everything out. But
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go ahead and press on that.
The wall grinds away and shows you another set of stairs leading down.
I turned to Jhank after the wall opens up and kind of casually point at him and say, "You do realize that if you tell anyone I don't approve of about this, that horrible things will happen to you, right?"
I think that, Jhank, there's really not exactly an answer that comes.
You've told me I can't. Now I need to.
So
I just nod and head into the secret passage.
This one's all black and white.
Yes, it's because this is a battle map. Not all of the maps get to be super pretty. Some of them are just, practical. You descend down that second staircase, and you are in a stone hallway. You can tell this is an upper area of some kind. You can see down into a sort of grander area, which I will now link just for visibility's sake.
Oh boy.
Yep. So you can see in front of you there is a spiral staircase going down into the main area, and there are several balconies to your on the left side, or from where you entered. They're straight ahead and to the right and left.
So that explains this whole gap on the far side of the upper level. That's just an opening above the.
Exactly. These are balconies for presumably for Castellanter funerals back when they were more not related to demon worship, presumably. But yes, you can hear the air is extremely cold in here. It is a stone room. The smell is unpleasant. The air is stale, and you do, however, hear something else, and it sounds like soft snoring coming from down below. In that main hall, in that main area, you can see there are large wrought iron candlesticks that form a pathway to an enormous 30-foot tall stone statue depicting a smiling bearded man with small horns above his brow and cloven hooves instead of feet. And at the base of the statue, clutched in a stone claw erupting from the floor, is a 3-foot deep, 9-foot diameter stone bowl filled with, it looks like, ash of some kind. None of the candles are lit because this is apparently not a time of celebration, but it's clear that people gather here when the time is right. And you don't get a full view, but hanging from the walls behind those candlesticks on the lower area are these enormous tapestries that appear to be made of fine cloth. They have a lot of red on them. Not like blood, but like the cloth themselves. There's a lot of red, and it seems to be related to who they're worshiping.
Well, I'll say this for the Castlanters. When they pick a god to worship, they don't half-ass it.
You said we heard snoring?
Yes, you heard snoring.
What would I roll to tell where it's coming from and what it might be?
Perception. Seems reasonable enough.
Okay.
Use your keen hunter senses.
Your keen hunter senses tell you that it is 2 humans snoring. They appear to be on the lower level, but they are not in the main area. They appear to be off on a side hallway of some kind. It's difficult.
So not anywhere. So not anywhere we can really spot them from our location.
Not visibly. And honestly, with a 25, I'm going to tell you this much. You can also smell the very faint scent of wine that has apparently been spilled and cleaned up somewhere in this area.
Well, it's been
couple of servants snuck down here.
Well, if it's been cleaned up, they're not necessarily. This isn't necessarily them being drunk.
Not necessarily.
Couple of humans hiding down in a dark mausoleum, Temple of Asmodeus, with snoring with a smell of wine. Yeah, well, that's a couple of servants sneaking down here to sneak a drink.
Right, but it's the part where it's apparently been cleaned up that kind of throws off the most obvious story.
Well, they probably
you drink wine, you spill wine, you clean it up because you don't want anyone to find out, but then you're tired because you're drunk and you take a nap.
Could also be a couple of guards drinking on the job.
Also possible. One of the things of note is that the current major domo of the house, Oral, is a very strict taskmaster. So it might be understandable that even while drunk, some of the cleaning staff might have gone, "Oh shit, we got to clean this up."
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, it could be any number of things, but just that is information that Usk would know. Because I do believe I said in one of them that Oral's specialty is making mechanicals out of men.
Yep. Very much so.
Yeah, people said that. That's wrong. Snoring. There's something about the mess being cleaned up.
All right. Well, I doubt they're probably going to know where the stash is. I should just ask, or don't do anything stupid. I'll be right back.
Right. So
I just go back upstairs.
You just go back upstairs? Okay. Alrighty.
Can I make a roll for Jhank to, based on what he can see, maybe guess where it might be?
Sure.
Okay.
By all means, do some investigating while I get the answer.
Is that an investigation or a perception?
I'll have it be investigation this time. I think this place is big, and you're just on alert enough that even with the snoring people, you don't want to make too much noise. So your it's not that you couldn't figure it out, but more your caution is making it a lot more difficult than it probably needs to be. Usk, you go back upstairs. It does not take very much time at all to track down a servant. But let me roll one other thing very quickly.
Uh-oh.
Come on, actually roll, please. Don't just sit on the tower doing nothing. Let's see. What is your dex score? Or your
My
dex
dex score is-
modifier?
My dex modifier is +3.
Okay.
My dex save is +6.
Okay. I was thinking I don't believe you were actively trying to stealth, so I was trying to process like what would a passive stealth score be? So I was just trying to do something along those lines. You just narrowly miss running into Pocket as she prowls the manor looking for, it appears, Victoro. You hear her mumbling something under her breath and she sounds pissed off. It does not appear to be about you. I will clarify that now.
Yeah.
Victoro sounds like Victor's evil twin.
He does have the goatee. But then again, so does Victor in that image. I don't know if Victor actually does, though.
Victor's evil twin is completely bald and hairless, and aside from some eyebrows that are barely there.
So Victor's evil twin is one of those gremlin cats. Got it.
Oh, all right. That was a mental image. Yeah, I'll go ahead and avoid Pocket. I don't want to. If she end up on the warpath with her, it could be take up my time for like the next half hour, and I don't want to leave Jhank down there by himself for too long.
Fair enough. He might get ideas. Kidding.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes.
I know you.
It's fairly easy. One of the members of the household staff informs you that the crypt is opposite the temple. So in that bottom level, if you turn literally away from the main area, you will run into the crypt.
Oh, you just go down the stairs into the east there, and that's the crypt?
To the east. That is the crypt.
All right. And I guess it would just have to be in one of those spots.
Yeah, it's going to be in one of them.
All right, I'll go ahead and head back down. Is Jhank still?
He is still waiting there.
All right, let's head on down.
So let me.
Thankfully, not too much space to search. Most of this place is the temple. The crypt is.
Yeah, the crypt is a relatively smaller portion. So yes, you descend the spiral staircase into the main area of the temple. You can hear that the snoring is actually coming down this hallway. It appears that there's one of the side rooms is where they have snuck off for the time being. Whoever is there.
I'll go down just to check around the corner.
You see down that hallway there are. It looks like you can see 3 wooden cots. Excuse me. It seems like there's more because you only see one person, but you definitely hear 2. They just might be against a wall that you can't quite get a good look on. You see there is the person you see is actually not wearing staff like the clothing you've seen on the staff of the Castle Lantern Manor. They are wearing just a sort of brilliant red robe, and they have a sort of garish looking wooden mask that is toppled to the floor near their hands. It seems that they crashed pretty hard when they came in here. And you also see an empty bottle of wine that has rolled under that cot. So
worshipper of Asmodeus.
Mm-hmm.
So not staff, but staff.
Yeah, not staff, but staff.
All right, well, everything's under control there.
As you enter the crypt, you can see that there, in each of those sort of subsections, there are what are obviously stone coffins, but you also see that at the head of each of those coffins are these fairly in these fairly in-depth descriptions of these Castellanter or these members of the Castellanter family that have been buried here, along with like all of their like what their life goals were, what they accomplished, what they left to their children, and so on and so forth.
What would I roll to make sure that there's no traps we have to be worried about here?
I would say that the simplest one to roll for that would be, I think perception. Sorry, can't quite see what you guys rolled. 14 and 17. You can tell there's no traps. They have not trapped this section, presumably because the rest of the crypt does its job well enough. It's kind of secret, kind of safe. There's usually people down here.
And there's plenty of security up top.
Yeah, and there's a lot of security up top. So you can also see that each of the coffins has a face, a very detailed face engraved in it. And it looks like those are the various previous Castellanter matriarchs and patriarchs. They all are covered in a thin layer of dust and ash, it looks like. And you can see that several have some kind of symbol drawn into that dust and ash on top of the coffin.
Some kind of magical symbol, or?
You can't quite say, not without further investigation.
Is that an investigation roll?
I would say that...
Natural 20 on Arcana.
That's a pretty good one. It is not an expressly magic symbol. It is the symbol of Asmodeus.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yes, investigation. Jhank, you hear something that you didn't before. And it's something you notice. You notice there is one coffin that does not have that symbol on it. And you can hear the sound of what you guess is rattling chains in it. But it's extremely muffled by the coffin itself.
It sounds like there's someone probably undead in there.
Would not put it past them.
Might be their son.
There was nothing left of the sun except ash, so seems unlikely. He was a chain devil, so good call on that, but...
I mean, there's probably more than one chain devil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to do it, but there's very much temptation to look inside and see what's in the coffin with noise.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
You can see that that particular coffin belongs to one Caladorn Castellanter, and you see on the achievements, Masked Lord and Hero of Waterdeep.
Huh.
So.
That's an interesting detail.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Guess I'll just keep searching through.
I mean, the urge to look inside intensifies. I'm still not going to do it, but there's a lot of temptation going on right now.
Fair enough. When you reach this last area, you see something that stands out to you. Let me clarify. When you reach this sort of zone right here, you can see there are again, there are three sort of carvings and coffins, one of which immediately stands out to you because the etching is for one Osvaldo Castellanter.
Hmm. All right, then. And there was nothing. I know there was nothing left of his body.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I check that coffin.
As you slide open the stone top of the coffin, your eyes catch a glint of gold. This is, in fact, where you stored your share of the dragons.
Yep, because it was all done in, I guess, his name and to help save the other heirs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like it is time for me to do my thing.
Yep, take a coin and do your thing, I guess.
Well, he's not going to grab any of the coins. He's going to stand there and
Look at them.
he's going to concentrate it while it's open, and try
I'll
focus
just keep watch, I guess, yeah.
focus on it in some way that maybe he can steer it toward guiding him towards the rest of the treasure somehow.
We don't really know how it works, but we're gambling on it anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to obviously have to type a thing to Jhank. In the meantime, so it's not awkward silence for like 15 minutes, Lander, Victor, Yuliy, do you want to go over what Victor learned in his book?
Yes.
Sure.
And
Yes, we can have a side scene with that group while we're waiting on knowledge.
Get more knowledge from other knowledge.
so when
Yeah.
when Digo is done eating, he can explain the questions he asked as Victor and what his goddess responded with.
You turned back just the right time. Okay. All right. Where did I put those notes? Saved them, right? Okay. All right. So the first question was, it seems Lander and I have switched bodies at some point in the past. Do you know what caused that? The answer is, my Victor, I must admit that I am not certain. I do not see things the way those on the physical plane do. I can see within you the pulse of life, and by communing with me, I learn all that you learn and know what you know. I can say that it has always been you with my book, regardless of what appearance you may have. But I cannot physically see what that means. The only thing that I can say with any certainty is that you have changed ever so slightly each time we spoke. The changes I can witness are the most drastic when we reconnect. But, as I have said, and with no doubt, during your lifetimes, I have always spoken with my Victor. All right.
That's a pretty significant amount of data, honestly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, she always knows
Even if
it's
it's
me.
not like explicitly helpful to the direct question, it does mean that she knows that it's the essence of you, even through the reincarnation and body swap and all of that.
The soul
That's-
remains.
Soul's how she sees us, so she doesn't know how the physical bodies got switched.
That's honestly a pretty cool piece of information.
Maybe
Yeah.
you wrote a journal entry about it when it happened.
Maybe. That could be the next thing I look up. Question 2. What was my last conversation with you about before my last death and reset to the current cycle? Answer. The last moment I spoke to you before your previous demise, you and your allies were trapped in the gullet of a great metal worm. You did not ask me a question. You made a request of my power, writ in your own blood. And through this request, you channeled my energy through your tome and disintegrated enough of the beast to free yourselves. But that moment and your death, I do not know how much time passed.
Ah,
Well,
Huh.
That's something to look out for in the future.
So, worm or verm?
WORM.
Okay.
So, and it's
that
metal.
makes a big difference.
Giant metal worm.
Yeah. Third question. My companions and I have found we had many burdens with our past selves. Did we forget them because my wish was granted? Answer. No. Your memories are not faulty by my hand. Your request was pulling from that which you already know now. When you die and are reborn, only so much of yourself is retained. All you requested from me was that I hasten the process.
What was that one about?
Hasten the process of remembering?
Or the process of forgetting?
The question was basically, did she have a hand in us forgetting a lot of things we did in the past?
You might want to clarify something real fast. Victor, there's one other thing you didn't read to them, which is the previous section that relates to that wish. The one that wasn't a question, it was you looking through the book.
Oh, okay. Missed that piece. So this was basically asking about Usk's severed hand and how I got in a hold of that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was basically a conversation here with Shantae. Basically, you are not writing in blood. It is not my own. I needed a record. Very well. What do you wish to recall? Usk disappeared from our party a week ago. At first, we thought nothing of it, merely believing it to be another job of his for his employers, the kind he often asks us not to butt in on. When he failed to return the next night, we found the stone of Galore missing. No doubt taken by our erstwhile ranger to stake his claim on ours. Is this his blood? Unfortunately, yes. Yuliy and Lander made some sort of bargain with Xanathar and went after him to get the stone back. They brought me this hand a few moments ago, still clutching the stone. They did not take it for themselves? No, they fear what results will occur if they force their patrons into combat during this lifetime. And you did not take it for yourself? Before the hand, I might have considered it. But more importantly, I am infinitely more trusting of you than this stone. And whatever I may take from it, it may take from me tenfold. And from you. Your fear is misplaced, but appreciated, my victor. I will be locking the hand in my private safe. It would likely be better for all of us if we were to die and forget this thing ever existed. And what of the dragons? Of your plan? Of my restoration? That too may be easier to accomplish if we all forget. The Undermountain can provide numerous riches, and things may be easier if we can learn again to work together. At this point, the weight of ourselves may be too much to bear. But I will not forget my duty to you. I will return you to your truest self. I see. Treat yourself kindly, my dear. And remember, if the burden of your actions become too much to bear, simply ask, and I will grant your wish. Thank you for bearing the sins that I cannot. That is the role of the gods. Nothing less, nothing more.
So it was a wish as in it might
What?
be easier if we forget. Was the so-called wish.
You totally got us killed, my dude.
Well, we got involved with Xanathar's guild to cut off Usk's hand.
Yeah, I don't know what you do.
Well, that
bargain you made.
That confirms that whole memory happened and wasn't distorted.
Well,
yeah, what the bargain was, though, and you ended up coming back with a hand. I mean,
Well,
what was the rest of them?
We're trying to get the stone, I guess.
But also, does that mean that Usk was a ranger?
Or he was pretending to be and didn't tell us the truth.
Or would that be Jhank?
Is there more body swapping going on?
I don't know. I have a feeling in this context,
I have a feeling it's not
really
body
did
swapping.
not tell us anything about himself.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
I mean, as I wrote it here, us disappeared from a party a week ago.
I did use short bows and daggers. I could have passed off as a ranger, I guess, just a very richly appointed one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and right here in this sentence, At first, we thought nothing of it, merely believing it to be another job of his for his employers, the kind he asked us not to butt in on. So I'm thinking Us kept his private business to himself and just kind of made up a
version of it for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It also sounds like you were one of the last people who joined up, and it almost seems to imply you sought us out, which has me interested.
Could be. Because we know the three of us were together for a while.
Yeah.
And after this piece, I did remember something personal, and I'm now able to cast poison spray.
Can you wild shape into a snake or a lizard?
Oh, I definitely can wild shape into a snake.
Wild shape into a snake, poison spray.
Don't think it works that way.
Turn into that one lizard that shoots poison out of its eyes. Cast poison spray that way.
I'd probably have to see it.
Okay, so Victor was thinking much longer term after the whole kerfuffle with me and Lander and Yuliy went down.
And it seems like Yuliy and I didn't want to fight because our patrons, namely her dad and either a fiend or her dad, didn't want us to fight.
I think if we're going to go along that line, I might want to think that your patron at the time might have been Faye.
To clarify something, you know which patron it was because this happened while you were working, like while you were doing the Castellander hit job, and Sola confirmed that it was Lander with a demon at that point.
Okay.
So
this timeline is very detailed and has a lot of moving parts.
Yes.
Which patron did Lander have at the time? Was this before or after the Victor Lander body swap? Which
one day I'm gonna sneak into your Google Drive.
Which job was I working for the Castellanters and myself and for whoever else?
It looks like Jawa unfortunately had to go.
Can you tell me through him, I guess?
Yeah, I sent it to him via DM. I'm going to make the assumption that Jhank shares this, but in case he doesn't, be ready to retcon this. Apologies.
So, real quick before that, what happened to Shantae that she needs to be restored?
Say that again?
A thing? What happened to Shantae that she needs to be restored?
According to any of the regular Shantae people you talk to, nothing.
Exactly. So either someone usurped her position and assumed her powers, or the person in the book is a fake.
Or maybe something about the schism of the faith sort of affected her godhood?
Like maybe she split into different personalities?
I'm a fan of that just because it tends to be an awesome thing I like to work with in general.
Yeah.
It was the way that I was thinking, that maybe, the church is what changed and not her necessarily, and I'm trying to restore the church to its truest form.
But
it's originally.
It's hard to say in this world whether or not a god can feasibly just go do something unnoticed or change drastically without anyone noticing. Since I feel like they can kind of just appear sometimes. Is that right?
You're not wrong. The gods of this world do have influence and can, be part and parcel of big major events. But likewise, kind of one of the whole goals of there are adventuring parties out there whose whole goal is I want to get strong enough to kick God's ass and take his place. So,
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
like that's not an unheard of thing just in D&D in general.
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
hard, but
As they say, if it has stats, you can kill it.
yeah. So,
You know, it's a good point you raise about Jhank being currently AFK. Because I don't know if he'd share all this with me.
yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. So I have it as a note. I think probably the only part that we can definitely say he would share is the Druid has a disciple of his truth in the city. The gold has been held with them.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think he would definitely share that.
Yeah.
Is that what the platinums were?
No.
I hope not.
No, those weren't
All right.
dragons. So
Yeah, those weren't
Yeah.
dragons. That was just foreign platinum. But,
What's worth more, a platinum piece or a dragon?
dragons are basically gold pieces, so platinum.
Okay. I was wondering if maybe they converted the dragons into platinum to be easier to carry.
Possibly, but I don't. But Eris was outside the city up until recently,
Ah.
so seems unlikely.
So Victor has another disciple who might know him as human Victor instead of half-elf Victor.
Hmm.
But yeah, Jhank might also have a very good reason to want all this coin that he will find out as soon as he gets back.
Yep, that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Intrigue.
We really do need, like, we all needed this much money for some reason, and it took an entire heist to get this much.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And the only place that might have an equivalent amount of money is the Undermountain.
We are the actual big time solution to all these problems is to actually just go down to the Undermountain and raid it for actual riches.
That reminds me, Digo, did you ask about why we went to the Undermountain in the first place?
That I do not believe so.
Okay.
We actually just need to go tomb raiding to become unfathomably rich enough to solve all our problems.
Hey, that's one way to solve it.
That's our actual goal.
Well, it was your actual goal.
It was our actual goal. But boy is that goal looking more and more enticing. The more things get revealed, because turns out we need a lot of money for a lot of things.
It would
Who would have thought that you need money for things?
It would be. I gotta be real blunt here. It would be kind of dumb if I set up this whole thing and it turns out all of your problems could be solved outside the Undermountain. I feel like that might be a little dumb on my part.
Yeah.
It might be, but
I
it'd
have
also
an
be kind of
idea.
funny.
It's
The
a dumb
Undermountain is
idea.
also just unfathomably risky.
I have
What's
an
your idea?
It's a really dumb idea.
Mhm.
Sid probably knows what my dumb idea is.
Mhm.
I have no idea.
Because I think I know where the dragons are.
What?
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, you
Putting
think
the
it's in your mask?
That would be a horrible idea.
Mm.
That'd be really bad.
Did you leave it with your dad?
You might have. I might have left mine in Diz. 'Cause that is a realm removed from our own.
They're probably with my dad.
I mean,
Yeah. Could be. The King's Tower glimmers with a stolen light. Ooh, that actually makes a lot of sense now.
Oh,
A church
no.
provided
Right.
God is definitely Victor's druid friend. So it must be a church of some kind in Waterdeep with one of Victor's associates.
I really want to do it, but I don't.
I am sorry.
I really want to do it. I don't.
I just want to say I really do live for the moments when you go, ooh. I really love when y'all do that.
Yeah, because I got that one little note from my wall, and it was the King's Tower glimmers with a stolen light, and the dragons are stolen.
And they glimmer gold.
Yeah. And
My
the
dad's a big deal.
Oberon is the king of the fairies. So
removed to
Yuliy's
learn
dragons
from the death of a fake?
Well, no, Yuliy's dragons are probably there. Because at the time, my patron was a fiend. So it's probably Yuliy's share that is in the Feywild, in his tower.
Which is dangerous.
Because that's her
Wait.
dad.
You wouldn't put it somewhere, not dangerous.
Ooh, boy.
No, I mean, putting the mask on is dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay. Then don't do it.
Man.
So what the hell does a dream to protect the waking mean?
Well, the dream is probably the Feywilds. The waking... Maybe she made a bargain with her dad?
A realm removed to learn from the death of a fake, a dream to protect the waking. The other, a grave to save a life, that's mine. A ship to build a nation, that's Jhank's.
We told her
a
that
church
the 3 and 4 are really vague.
A church to revive a god, that's Victor.
Yep. Now, I don't know who the fake is. But, yeah.
And
You.
dream to protect the waking is... What dream? Who's waking? Who's awake? What?
I assume the waking is us on this plane, and the dream is the Feywilds, because I'm pretty sure that Oberon is planning on using Yuliy as some sort of super soldier to wipe out everyone else eventually.
What?
Excuse me, what?
Wait, when did we...
Where did we...
What?
What? Where did that come from? Excuse me?
Okay.
Well, it's just...
of Lander's mind.
I'm not letting you backtrack on this. Excuse me, what?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Let me take a look at some
Rewind
stuff.
57 seconds and say that again.
I am not letting you backtrack on this, man.
Are you just spitballing, or are you actually like connecting dots there?
Can you speak louder and into my chest?
Quite possibly implied dots. I had a talk with my patron once, and I asked him about Yuliy, and he said something along the lines of, it's way up in the past, a long time ago. A long time ago.
It shows how long ago, because I either forgot or you never said it. I'm leaning towards the second one.
Yeah, I think the the last time you spoke with your patron was in May.
You will be in 5/21/2020 is when it happened.
Yep.
You will be informed of your paladin's place in my world when the time is right, but that time is not now. And there's some more stuff, but that's just about how I am, overstepping my bounds. Very, very far stretch from what I said, but
okay, yeah. There are plans for us and pawns in a big chess game. Yeah, okay.
Ask your patron where you put your freaking gold. He probably has it. If my dad has mine,
I just realized I have to ask this. Who's your current patron?
Oh, her dad, Oberon, the Fairy King.
Okay.
Yeah, go talk to my dad because he clearly won't talk to me.
I completely lost
track
of who
I am also
get your powers from.
I am also the fourth land of Brightwood that he has formed a pact with.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry.
I feel like I've said that before. That we have all died. That I have died at least 3 times.
But because of the Undermountain, or because of like other things? Because you apparently can swap bodies.
That's hard to say. I don't know. Good question.
God, I hope this all makes sense to y'all when I'm done.
It
Well,
probably,
Right
but
now,
like,
we're still in the puddle, and we're trying to figure out which way it's up. Linder, go talk to my dad now.
Oh, also, him being my patron is quite possibly the reason why I know Elven.
You're also half elf right now, so
Yeah, but I wasn't from the start.
For
Because, I
Victor's
mean,
comment in Fantasy Grounds, for this and more Warlock Pack powers, follow me on patreon.com/Lander.
mechanically, you would learn Sylvan from Archfey Pact. You would not learn Elvish.
Oh, thank you.
okay,
Victor.
all
So
right.
that
Very
would
good.
be it.
Thank
I
you
can
Because-
tell
very
you
much.
that.
Because Victor also knows Sylvan,
Yeah.
but not
Patreon
Elven.
for Warlocks.
That's
Oh,
extremely
that's a good one. Yeah.
I
Digo, you're
have to roll
brilliant.
that character now.
Digo, your brilliance amazes me.
Just I get my powers from crowdfunding amongst the various powers that be.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
That's just this. I have a discussion that I would make for later on. Regardless of that, I'm still bringing this topic back to wherever it was. Go community your freaking patron, because if it is Overon, then you can ask where my stuff is, or you can ask where your gold is.
Yeah, you might have to bite the bullet and just ask if you decide to stash it away from this plane.
You know, another thing the King's Tower glimmers with stolen light might be is the Iron Tower in Diz that Despater lives in. Who's like the king of Diz.
You're
Possibly.
so deflecting because you don't want to.
No, I'm just thinking of other possibilities because I just realized that that's another thing. And
Yeah,
that's-
you are correct. They both do have towers.
Yep, they've both got towers. They're both kings. At least one of them is extremely paranoid.
Nope, incorrect.
No, Diz is Despater is Despater is incredibly paranoid.
Devils are princes. Sorry. Go talk to
Okay.
my dad.
All right.
I mean, you could be a prince and still the king of something.
So you want to like write down some questions that you want me to ask him for you?
I mean, we're trying to ask where your gold is, where my gold is, because if
You might be able to bring other people with you.
Oh, cool. Let's try that.
Oh,
Let's
that'd
bring
be
Yuliy
fun.
with me.
That'll go extremely. Yes, do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Let's just bring all three of us if we
Oh
can.
my God.
Let's just all take a trip to the Feywilds to meet Yuli's dad.
All
Let's
right.
go all to the Feywilds. Let's go all to the Feywilds.
So-
Let's go all to the Feywilds.
Or
and
rather,
have
a dream
ourselves-
of the Feywilds.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, close
So is that what you want to do?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Want to do versus need to do.
Both. Yes.
This is probably going to go poorly.
Everything goes poorly.
Okay. Before,
So
before we
this is-
do that,
that's always a good preface.
before we do that, we should probably have Usk and Jhank get out of the mausoleum.
Yeah, we can just do that. I don't. We can't really discuss until Jhank gets back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be a bit disconcerting if us just find some corpses in his house.
Yeah.
I mean, we could literally state that the entire time that you've been gone, we've been arguing this fact, and you literally come into your hideout and it's like, freaking contact him now, or so help me.
That's what I'm getting at is, Usk, do you want to be a part of this, or do you want to step in the aftermath?
wow, both are tempting actually.
How much less it's gonna be?
I mean, the way I was thinking was that me and Jhank had our little side adventure, so it's only fair if you three now have your little side adventure and I sit out. But if you don't mind me coming along, I wouldn't object either.
I mean, I'll be honest, I have no idea if he would find you entertaining or droll.
Chaos
It could be either.
triangle.
Chaos
Chaos triangle.
Well, again, so I'm leaving up to you guys if you want me to be a part of this, or if you want to have your an adventure without Usk for once.
Come with us.
I'll be more than happy to come along.
All right.
I wonder if I can just send them without myself.
No, I am dragging you.
All right, we're all going to the Feywild.
That's
See ya.
called banishment.
Here's a question: what would banishment send me to the Nine Hells or the Feywilds?
I don't know. Who do you think would be more pissed off?
This is a very strong question.
Man, I'm excited now. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Okay. I don't think I really have a good map for this, so this one's all going to be
I can't believe we infiltrated a Temple of Asmodeus and the Castle Interfamily Crypt, and that's the least dangerous thing we're doing today.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you kind of have like a passport right in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to remove your token from the maps. Yeah. No, I don't want to delete all tokens because I'm sure that'll accidentally do something I don't want.
Ooh, there's.
There's what?
Yeah.
What does it mean for the summer court to be in full bloom?
What an excellent question.
That
Did
is
you
a
even
good
pass that information along?
I don't think she
You
did.
read it.
Maybe.
No.
You
I read it. I did read it out loud. Did you
What
pass it
does
along?
that mean?
Yes, I said when I let you read it out loud, I said I was passing it along. But I don't
I
know
don't
what
remember.
it means.
So, like,
But I
would
feel
any
like
of
I
us know what that means?
I didn't ask.
Do we have that knowledge available to us?
Let's see. What would be a good stat for this? Go ahead and roll.
Religion?
Blood.
Yeah.
History? Religion and
Yes.
history both work for me, actually.
I think in this case, religion.
All right. Oh, nat 20.
Oh.
I know. Somehow. Probably because,
I don't like that
Bacon.
laugh I hear from you.
All
So what
right.
does that
Does anyone
mean?
else want to roll? Victor?
Sure. What am I rolling?
Religion.
Religion.
Do it and
Boy,
make me
if the
feel bad.
DC is higher than 25, that's going to be
Yeah.
wow.
Sorry.
No worries. Yuliy, Victor, that is inscrutable. It just sounds like Feywild stuff. The summer court being in full bloom.
Well, that's why
us-
I'm asking now, aren't I?
I know. Us, you vaguely remember, or you vaguely recall reading something somewhere, presumably in the Castle Lantern Library, about the power of the Feywilds changing based on basically which court was in charge.
Oh, yeah.
So much like with the passing of the seasons, when the summer court gets stronger and weaker as things change, while their realm is always sort of in that zone of their court, whoever is dominant changes. Lander, you know that when the summer court is in full bloom, it means that Oberon is at the peak of his power and can directly influence the physical plane.
Ah.
Hmm.
And when is the summer court in full bloom?
Now.
Oh.
Well, you were doing a flashback.
Oh,
You were drinking, remember?
yes. Listen, you said I was drinking, so that answers your question.
So, in the past.
It happens once a
Yes.
year during the summer solstice.
And now it's, like, not that far from winter?
You're in the middle of winter.
Ah.
Like on the calendar, it is sixth day of Six Alturiak, although I think it should be the 7th by now, which is just after midwinter. So just after the solstice.
So,
Okay.
Oberon's just past his weakest point.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So aside from the big revelation, which ironically I'm the last one to see, what other big things did I miss?
Oh, we
Well-
actually haven't read out your vision yet.
Yeah.
we weren't sure if you wanted to share all of it.
The only, the
I-
only person who's read it is Spud.
I've been sent it, but I agreed that I didn't know if you would share all of it, so we only shared like the very end of it.
The one that
Because that
seemed
was-
least personal.
Okay, the part about the
Druid. The Druid has a disciple of
Yeah.
his truth. Yeah.
Okay. So what other big things did I miss?
The other three have decided that they might project into the Feywild to ask Oberon if he knows where other two stashes are.
Okay, so have we gathered together yet, or are we still two separate groups?
Still two separate groups for now. But
Okay.
We're probably about to run
we're-
into.
We're deciding whether we regroup in time just enough to do this Feywild adventure.
yeah. But first, we're gonna hear your what you want to share.
If you have any questions, Jawa, feel free to send me a quick PM and I'll answer as best I can.
Going on a field trip. Going on a field trip. Going on a field trip. Don't
Hope
know-
you all don't die.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Just, drop by the Feywild for a visit. What could go wrong?
See King Oberon. He's famous for being good to guests.
So should I roll a religion too, or no?
Seatbelts, everyone.
You can. It was just to determine what it was to determine what the summer court being in full bloom meant when Yuliy shared her vision from last week.
Oh, so
Yeah.
someone getting a 20, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we figured out the
basically.
information. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. Miss Frizzle and the Feywild field trip.
I don't think I'm Miss Frizzle.
You might be the magic school bus. I feel like that's mean.
What's the name of the kid who was in the blue sweater who was always really excited?
Carlos?
Yes.
The
Lander is
monster
Arnold.
that everyone hated.
I feel like the my book is the Magic School Bus.
Then you are the magic school bus's engine.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of is that you have gathered just a ton of magic.
Yeah, I sure have.
Yeah.
And I've also lost a ton of magic.
Lander has forgotten more things than most people will ever learn. He's also had a few lifetimes to try. I am good with either the full group going or no one, or just the three going. Hollyhock is going to stay out of this because as far as she's concerned, she's here to help out. Not really invested in maybe all of your past business quite
Stuff,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Holly.
She sounds smart.
I mean, she's kind of found a good place for herself as far as she knows and is concerned.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And it's a good idea to have someone on guard.
Yeah,
You
also
know.
true.
You must be carrying this much baggage to ride.
I mean, she's got some baggage, but she just doesn't know it yet.
She's got some baggage, but the thing is, all of her baggage is collected within herself.
Yeah.
The person that she has bad blood with is herself.
Yeah. And I feel like it's not even really bad blood, more like just a question of why.
It's just unthinkably tragic.
Yeah.
Anywho, Jawa, you have time to read all that?
Well, Well, yeah, I've already read through it.
Oh, okay. So, would you like to participate in the Feywild field trip, or no?
Gonna share with the rest of us?
Well, are those three going to decide to wait till the others get back?
I mean, if it happens, we'll just have been arguing about it until you guys get back.
Yeah, it sounds like we're all gonna come back together. Yeah, so.
Okay. So yeah, did you just want to share that last bit, or did you want to share any of the rest of it?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's just going to speak it, just recite what he's seen, but he's going to give information beyond the last bit.
Understandable.
Okay.
I mean, not in a case of sharing information, but the way he's seen it, he thinks that they may need to approach us in a very specific way.
Okay, but the others don't know what it actually is yet, so you do need to actually say it.
Well, I mean, you mean beyond the Druid bit?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only part I shared. Spud is the only other person who's read the full thing. And it sounds like Spud didn't even read the full thing. He read like part of it and then went, maybe not.
I've read it. I'm just like trying. Really, I don't want to metagame this. I don't
get
want to
you.
take that away from
Well,
Jhank,
this
so.
seems like something to, for Jhank to talk about once the group is all together.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we're saying that the group is all coming back together now.
Yeah.
Time skip. We're all together.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at my safe house again, where the other three were waiting,
Well, arguing.
arguing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loudly.
Mhm.
Your neighbors don't like us right now.
While Hollyhock sits in a chair.
His neighbors are not going to complain.
Yeah. They
They're
know
not
who
gonna
lives there.
complain, but they don't like us. Still.
Also, Yuliy was making origami the whole time.
Yes.
Roll
I was
dexterity.
probably
Thing?
making tea.
No.
Roll sleight of hand. I'm going to determine how good you were at origami.
Probably not good.
You know what?
See?
I'm gonna do that too. Slightly better.
Between the two of you, there is
Oh.
one passable crane. It's going to be a long while before you get to the 1,000.
Y'all are not very good at sleight of hand. Here, let me
I
try.
have a -1 in dexterity. I don't know what
Yeah.
you want from me.
Us,
Get a
you
crumpled
fix-
ball of paper.
Jawa.
Husk just flicks his wrist and there's suddenly 10 cranes.
I think, if I may be blunt, this is kind of what I'm picturing is just like Usk walks in, sees this sad crane on the table, fixes it. Jhank comes in, swipes it without anyone seeing. It's going with the rest of them.
Oh yeah, he's got
I mean,
a whole
he
bunch
does
of
have
animal
a
figures.
collection of. He does have a collection of figures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my thought.
Nice.
That's a pretty complete scene right there.
Yep.
All right, we're all back together.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that like Jhank might have been like in a daze on our way back from the crypt.
That seems reasonable.
Thinking
processing.
he's thinking equally about the coffin with the undead hero as much as he is about his vision.
That is true. That would have
Those
occupied
are-
my thoughts a little bit as well.
Those are thoughts that are equally occupying his mind.
That would have been a good time for Ghost Sight.
I don't have that.
Yeah, it's a invocation of the Eldritch variety.
Yeah, that's not my power source.
Yep. Not
Not
anymore
yet, at
anyway.
any rate.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jhank-
it might have been at one time apparently, but no.
The once and future Warlock.
No, my power source would have been Inferno while I was.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's-
Anyway.
Okay, so we've gone through the crane scene then.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so aside from there potentially being a hero in the basement that is undead, I have good news and bad news about the treasure situation. It's
What's the
tell.
bad news?
well, now I believe that the presumption that the treasure was on the ship is correct. I believe it is in the possession of a drow, quite possibly the captain that is supposed to save the world.
So
We
the
may-
most important man alive.
Yes. I believe there may be a way to get it from him, but I believe that we have to acquire my portion last in order to pull it off. I believe it will require a diplomatic situation or a plan of cunning.
You promised the drow this gold, didn't you?
Well, he did not respond happily to having the gold requested back. And he doesn't care about saving the quote-unquote 2 brats he doesn't care about.
Mm.
Good to know.
So
did future
apparently
you tell him?
I was the one who convinced him that the task we have in mind was worth any price. So we need to present another option which will give him the political sway he's looking for. So
Like more money?
that would probably be it. This is why I am saying that I think we need to collect my portion last, because if we have all the portions, we pay off the debt, meaning we can get the alternative option for him.
Oh yeah, if we can complete this ritual before, well, I guess if we can
Stop the
get the
ritual.
castle lanterns to pay him back, that would be plenty of political capital.
Yes, we get the counter lanterns to pay him back. We get political sway with the castle lanterns. If we collect this last and we can offer that to him as an alternative, I believe that is how we can get the goal. How we can get that portion of the treasure.
That's so this drow's looking. This drow, who is apparently the most important person in the world according to your visions, needs political capital and money to fund it.
The drow is looking to become a lord of some kind. It relates
King of a
to,
nation.
apparently, but he believes he
Lord
needs,
and then king. Yeah.
he needs, but he does not believe he can get the political sway without it.
So he needs some backers.
He needs some kind of backing or financial support.
And you're
This is why I am-
suggesting that we have the cast lanterns do so.
So this is why I am saying I believe if we claim my portion last, we can offer this, giving him the financial support from the castle lanterns, perhaps some kind of political deal with the castle lanterns. Regardless, it's a path that would be an alternative to the treasures that we can actually offer, because apparently the alternative is the drow threatening to cut me down, I believe. So
Okay, so we got another ticking time clock. Got it.
Well,
so
yeah.
other than that, something about quote unquote the stone, which I am guessing was Stone of Galore. Maybe it's the stone related to the knowledge I am getting. I do not know about the quote unquote Paladin and Warlock. It says the Paladin. I told myself the Paladin and the Warlock are beyond. I will have to force them to bring their gold to me.
Like to see you try.
Yeah, that's probably us.
I do know where one source of treasure is. Quote, and I say this from myself, the Druid has a disciple of his truth in the city. The gold has been held with them.
Disciple of the truth in the city.
Yeah.
A
So
church to revive a god.
one of the members of the church has the gold.
One of the members of the church who agrees with Victor.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
which might be his apprentice, or it could be someone else.
No, never mind. Well, it's not Eris. Is that right?
Yeah.
Eris?
It's
Yeah.
Aerus, but it's Eris. So yeah.
Eris. Yeah. Not him.
Overall, I believe that it got more information than we might have hoped for, but not as much as would have been preferred.
Yep.
But the other two are beyond, which pretty much confirms that Yuliy's and Lander's shares have been stashed, probably off this plane.
Yeah, I have a feeling that my shares are in hell.
And Yuliy's share might be in the Feywild.
Man, I can't believe you bought stock in hell. That place, that must be going places.
Shares in hell.
I mean, I do have a detailed list of the entire composition and every inhabitant of the second circle of hell in my room. So
what? Wait, that's what that is?
Okay.
Yeah, that there's something. It's there. Yeah.
To quote the thing I said, beneath that is an extensive single paragraph describing in detail the second layer of the 9 hells, from the composition of the layer's magma to a thorough description of each citizen in the Iron City and their debts. The Iron Tower in the center of the city was the only detail that was not made available.
Yep.
I don't think you actually went through and said like everything you found in that.
Oh no, definitely not.
Aside from the like, oh, it might have been multiple demons.
Yeah, multiple
Or
demons. Yeah. I definitely talked about the city of Diz. That's where I drew my power from at one point. I was a living conduit to bring the power of Formalhaut to the demons or fiends. And other things too. Like
Other things can mean a lot coming from you, Lander.
yeah, the pacts between the fiends and the archfey are very similar, but with slight differences.
Like the contracts are written very similarly.
Yeah.
They're both very florid.
Like the fiends one starts with my benefactor demanded obedience, and obedience shall I grant in the pursuit of knowledge. For the time being, we share that domain, and we shall forge it anew as we strike, again and again. And the archfey one starts with my patron asks, and for this lifetime I obey. My words shall be theirs, and their tongues mine, until the icy hand of death takes me once more and steals me from my master's home.
I mean, like a lifelong pact for power and knowledge. I imagine it's going to have similar language, honestly.
Yeah.
Formal House did not.
Yeah, Formal House was very just like, just very terse.
Formal House does not care. Formal House just wants to see all.
It's just like, yep, we're doing this. All right, go. It's more of a handshake agreement.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
That's
the sentence on Formal House was, your writings on Formal House are perfunctory. The being from the beyond does not seem to particularly care what you write about it or how it's worded.
Just let me explore the mysteries of the cosmos. It's not that great out here. You don't care. I'm more interested in what's going on down there.
It seemed way more alien and basically like, oh yeah, the of course fiends and fae are both very interested in what you write about them. Giant space eyes, maybe not so much.
Like, what does it matter? It's just more data in the universe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been entertaining. And great distraction from the task at hand, which I guess is we're all going to the Feywild.
All right.
Yay.
So,
I mean, are we sure it's smart for everyone to go there?
I'm not
Probably
sure.
not.
I don't think we are sure.
I don't think it's smart for any of us to go there, but we're going there.
Well, there's 3
All
of
right,
us who are going, and 2 are required because I'm going willingly, and I'm dragging Lander with me.
Yep. We're reuniting Yuliy with her father.
And Victor needs to be a mediator, so he's coming too.
A mediator?
Yeah, I mean, Oberon might know something.
Victor's like, I wasn't told that.
Like, Oberon might know something about a body swap, so...
Oh, okay.
And I think, like, the argument was that the 2 of us would be, like, for backup, I guess.
I mean, is Jhank gonna really be backup, or is he just gonna cause more trouble?
That's a good question.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Because we don't.
Here's the thing, like, and not joking, like, being actually kind of serious, like, our fates are kind of bound together.
True.
And not only that, but the people who, like, have invested in us are, by proxy, kind of bound together. I don't think it's an imposition for all of us to kind of put these cards on the table, even if it annoys our patrons.
Yeah, but it's like 50-50 whether he'll find your questions amusing or annoying.
I don't really have a whole lot of questions for Oberon myself. I just try to be cordial.
I do want to say real fast, I'm just picturing in my head us going, look, you all met my boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. I mean, did they though?
Not expressly, but
I mean,
they met Oral, who is kind of your boss.
A couple of us kind of killed your boss's son.
Yeah.
Who was a demon.
Want to meet us again.
Well, we don't know that they know who did it. because they're still kind of investigating that.
Oh
In
no,
fact,
Look,
that's the
they
job
know
they
that
have.
Look,
there's
if Oberon-
something involved.
If Oberon has a beef with me, I'd rather find out, honestly.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
good to
why
know.
he would, but he might.
All right. I need to use the restroom. I will be back, and then we will delve into this nonsense.
All right.
Nonsense, he says.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Yeah,
whenever
it's fine.
whenever a group of PCs says, "All right, it's time to go to the Feywild," you know that's just it's time for the madness to begin.
Listen, every time I've listened to a group say that they're going to the Feywilds, it's been awesome.
The
I mean,
Feywild
last time-
put wild in wild time.
It's been
Last
awesome.
time we were in the Feywilds, Yuliy and I were surrounded by some sort of darkness that was seeping out of my body or into it.
Ew.
It killed you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say
No,
a
it
lot of things
killed-
about the Feywild, but mundane and boring it is not.
Or
No.
you, Victor.
Well, me. That was me before we swapped
That was
bodies.
before the body swap.
Which is why I'm thinking that was the body swap.
Very
Like,
important
oh my-
question.
Something happens where I died and then we transplanted our souls that we would both live. Like you probably made a pact with your father, which
Yeah.
I feel
So-
like yeah.
So, very important question. Is this a situation where we should leave Crunchbite with Hollyhock while we're on this field trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be
absolutely.
wise. Yeah. Let's not subject the dog to this. He doesn't
Okay.
deserve it.
The
Ruh-roh,
dog,
Raggy.
the dog has gone through way too much stuff. What was that thing?
I
There was something that was sent that I want to read again, and I don't remember what it was.
To keep the dog away from, worst case scenarios mostly.
Yeah. The dog is a pet, not necessarily a member of the party per se.
Mm-hmm.
Part-time pet, part-time attack dog.
Yeah. In very light duty situations.
Like if there's like a stray goblin that's trying to kill us.
I think at some point I'm gonna have to just make Crunchbite immortal. Just,
Yeah.
just so
Wait, you mean
Crunchbite.
he's not?
Just to turn, just like check the immortal flag in the
Oh.
editor.
You know
Yeah.
what they say, immortal until proven otherwise.
Mhm.
Because that's the only way we're not going to be constantly stepping around the question of how do we avoid Crunchbite dying.
Yeah, because
The answer is to just leave him at the house.
yeah, but that's not fun because
Yeah, the dog is not meant to be, stuck inside a house.
Dog's also not
You
meant
know,
to be stuck underground.
I mean, the dog is
I mean,
getting a
there's-
lot of walking exercise underground.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog
There's
is
something to be
definitely
said. There is something to be said for an animal companion that is not terribly helpful, but functionally immortal.
yeah. The thing is, like Crunchbite is, in many ways, like Crunchbite can be strong because of like various bestial things that we've messed with Jhank, but I would still feel very bad about throwing the dog in there and the dog dying. So like, I'm glad whenever you're like, maybe have Crunchbite stay to the side. So, like I said, I think I need to figure out a justification for it. Crunchbite can't die, but also can't just like, what we have a problem. Send in the dog.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the main thing is, I mean, if we had a way where, I mean, this is like early on, I was wondering, like, how do we get additional, armor class and, hit points for said dog? Because that would mean there'd be room where yes, the dog could take damage if, not that we'd try and take damage, but, there'd be wiggle room between we always need to set the dog aside when we know there's going to be danger versus,
Yeah. Maybe I'll put that on my list of things I need to sort of deal
The
with.
dog has been enchanted by Shantae so that enemies do not never ever target them and is insubstantial to area attacks. I don't know.
Yeah, that is the reason. I mean, that is part of. I mean, the reason why because right now I have two versions of Summon Bestial Spirit, and one. That's why the first version I took was specifically turn Crunchbite into Super Crunchbite, The whole
Ah.
Yeah.
Digimon situation.
Exactly.
Oh.
I think
Crunchy and Mac.
That's kind of neat, actually.
yeah, I thought it was a cool way to add some zest to animal companion stuff.
And then I took a second version of it so I can use it even if Crunchbite isn't around.
Maybe
Well, for now, we're just not going to bring Crunchbite into the Feywild.
I think
Yep.
that's not up for debate.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
a problem
Crunchbite-
we can solve later.
Crunchbite can hang out with Hollyhock for a while.
Hollyhock will play fetch with Crunchbite. I'm just sorry, I do want to say one thing real fast, which is I just pictured Oberon like hammering in a sign like the no fun allowed, except it says no dogs allowed.
Just sign on the fence.
Yep.
Beware of dog, but under the parentheses, don't bring one in.
All right. So, how would you like to try and get everyone into the Feywild, Lander?
So where would we say that this plan sits on a list of bad ideas out of the bad ideas we've had thus far?
Oh, pretty much at the top.
This is entirely a horrible idea, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Did we ever,
Because we need answers from somewhere, and frankly,
There's
we
one
kind
place
of
that
sometimes
probably
you just
has-
got to go for the top.
A lot of it.
Okay, so last time I contacted my patron, I was just sort of flipping through the pages of my book. So
This is a bullet we were going to have to bite at some point.
yeah,
Yep, now I'm forcing him to.
let's go ahead and
Thank
try
goodness
just
I
like
introduced guns to the setting, because otherwise that phrase would not have made any sense.
yeah. To be fair, it's not really bullets; it's more like
What-
ball bearings.
Yeah,
Cannon
but
Wait,
balls.
where are guns and what kind are they and where do we get them?
it's
Well, the old
it's
lady that
long
you
shot.
invested in, she
Grandma
was
Gerbil.
making one.
I forgot she was actually
Yeah,
making
she-
guns.
She pointed a gun at all of you.
I forgot about that entirely.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a very
Victor
it was
does-
a very crude and shoot, what is the term?
Flintlock pistol.
Archaic.
Prototype.
Ah,
It was a prototype.
didn't work
Definitely
very well.
archaic. Yeah. But it was
Victor raises a good point in that I don't know if we've had ideas that are not on the bad idea chart.
I bet if we went through we could find one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Nothing.
Maybe.
One.
Nothing on my nothing on my chart. They're all bad
I-
ideas.
mean, I'd call, using the vision to maybe find out where the treasure is a comparatively good idea.
I would
Yeah.
say using Lehman's tiny hut while we're resting is a good idea.
Yeah, it worked out well for you.
Yeah.
It prevented those monsters from getting at you.
Yep.
The gibbering
Blocked up-
mouthers.
Yep.
But like
They tried
major
and they failed.
decisions. Have we had
Yeah.
any good ones with those? I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know, Mr. Let me steal Yek the Tall's crown.
and then
Yeah,
stab
I'll cop
him.
to
And
that.
then delete it.
I'll cop to that being a bad idea in the long run. It was fun. I'd probably do it again, but it was a bad idea.
I wouldn't blame you if you did
No,
it.
I will reiterate. I will backtrack. My only good idea was the last thing I did completely on the fly, and that was using suggestion on Yek the Tall.
I mean, I also used charm on Yek the Tall.
You're all
We
very
just all had a time with Yek.
did we?
Yeah, Yek was a nice little punching bag for the second floor, which
mean,
turned
I
out to
used
not be
my,
as fun.
Or
I
Yak.
used my Fey
Oh, wait,
presence.
no, wait, I'm mistaking Yak for someone else. Sorry, my mistake. I mistook for a moment there. I mistook Yak for that really what was it, the giant, the dapper giant.
Oh,
Oh,
for
that guy.
Yeah, the barbarian.
Yep. I used my Fey presence on Yek the Tall to charm him into thinking that we were old friends, and he gave us a thing, and then you stole his crown and made us fight him.
Ah, well.
Because he was a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I got him to not make us have to pay for bad.
Still a
tolls.
jerk.
And then you put someone else in charge who was also kind of a jerk.
There
But
wasn't, a
less
lot,
so.
there wasn't a lot of choices.
Debatable. Anyway,
Anyway,
back
go
to
to
the
Feywild.
Feywild. So I guess let's just put your hands on my shoulders. Maybe Yuliy also put your hand on the book because you're the most important one to get over. So multiple blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's already happening. He's already speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
Yep.
How dare you? We have
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
not gotten to that part of the story. Anyway.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess let's all read a book together.
Take a look. It's in the book. The terrifying Feywild.
Wait, does it go anywhere or do anything?
I mean, it'll go somewhere. It'll do something.
Not where you are. So
Go
This will be awkward if I just appear there by myself.
that'd be fun.
So here is what happens. As you all place your hands on Lander, and Yuliy, you place your hands on the book. I'm going
And
to
Lander.
assume that you do that, and obviously Lander is holding the book.
Yeah.
Lander, you take a moment and focus. And try to draw on that same feeling that dragged you into the Feywild the 2 previous times you've been there.
Wait, twice?
Once when you were remembering, like very
Ah,
first,
right.
when Oberon examined you and renewed your pact.
Okay.
You
Way
feel
back in session 1.
Yeah, that was way back in session 1. And look how far we've come.
Let's see how far.
You know, we have come quite a ways. It's
Yeah.
going to be sad when we all die
Yep. Yeah.
because we decided to go to the Feywild.
It's fine.
Here is what happens. Lander, you feel a pulling from deep within your core. Yuliy, you feel your skin begin to not harden, but goosebumps start rising on your skin. You feel the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You feel out of place on the physical plane. Jhank, Victor, and Usk. For you, there is no sensation. One moment you are in Usk's home, and the next you are very much not.
Are
You
we there
find
yet?
yourselves surrounded by these great trees. It is a balmy summer evening. And
Well, that didn't seem so bad.
Yuliy, the feeling of not belonging has gotten worse. Lander, you feel an intense cold in your core. Before the 5 of you, there is the clearing, and standing tall in the middle of the clearing is a glimmering white tower with no visible doors or windows.
I have a feeling bringing Yuliy probably not the best idea.
Listen.
Just say Yuliy forced you to do it.
I mean, she did.
And suddenly the 5 of you feel an enormous weight of a presence behind you as a shadow is cast over all 5 of you.
So what do we see if we turn around?
When you turn around, you see a great fairy figure with heavy black robes, wings outstretched, long dark hair, and a cold glare in his face.
Hello.
I didn't think this would not be a pleasant social call.
No, absolutely not.
No one made that assumption.
And Oberon speaks. And he says, Lander, by our pact, you are always allowed here. Yuliy, you are not invited here yet. And the 3 of you, I have offered no invitations to you at all. So,
What offerings do you have for me if you wish to remain in my hospitality?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Should've thought of that
Pretty
this
music play.
Jeopardy music, yeah.
Uh,
What would a king of the Feywild like in exchange for the privilege of remaining in his domain? I have a tiny gnome crafted music box. I don't remember if that had any significance or where I got it from. I think it was just random loot from the Undermountain.
It was something you had on your person when you came back, when you got all your stuff.
Oh, I should
that
keep
might
that
be
then.
a souvenir from someone. Probably one of the Castlanders.
Or wait, no, I think you might have bought it at the Goblin Market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just something you bought at the Goblin Market. Okay, never mind.
Oh man. Oh, man. I feel like this is really
But-
bad idea.
I think he wants something a bit more significant than that.
I'm gonna take the mask out and offer it.
What?
I feel like the offering was more so for the other three.
Yes, Yuliy, he is not asking for an offering from
Well,
you.
fine.
Yeah.
I asked for a different reason.
Oh.
Can I roll insight to get a sense of what a satisfactory offering would be?
All right, yeah, sure.
Aesthetically, I like to think it's on the top of her head.
Okay, on the top of her head. All right.
So
then-
sunglasses that you put up when you're not wearing them.
Like bandana, sunglasses, yeah.
All right. Would anyone else like to roll insight?
Sure, if you're offering.
Might as well.
Boy, I have a feeling that's going to be a bad idea for me to do.
Dude.
'Cause I feel like he'd know, and I feel like he wouldn't be happy about it.
Are you trying to glean my intentions, damn it, Lander?
Jhank, you have no idea what would appease this thing. Usk, you have a feeling you have some ideas on what might let you into what might let you stay in the court of the Fairy King, and that is something you cannot replace.
Yeah, it would be that kind of thing.
Victor, you get the sense that material goods are acceptable, but he will also be more than happy to take things that are not material.
So if we don't offer something, does he just kick us out, or is it worse than that?
You don't know yet.
Gonna turn you into a toad.
Gotta just assume that we're not welcome in his court, and we are shown the door. At least that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Non-material things. He might
Hopefully we get the
accept
courtesy of
memories,
the first
but
warning.
we don't have a lot of those anyway.
What are memories? Do we have them?
Uh-huh. But yeah, probably not a good idea to offer those. Anyway.
I will say that
Stuff.
Yuliy and Lander, you might be able to offer something in their stead. It doesn't necessarily have to be from them, but there needs to be some price paid to let everyone stay in the court.
I feel like we don't need to have everyone in the court.
Jhank is.
I'd be all
yeah.
right with being sent back.
Jhank would also be all right with apologizing and being sent back.
Okay.
Victor?
I don't know, I'm just trying to parse this whole. So offering something
Yeah.
that's not material, but it is. So does it mean he wants knowledge or something off you, or
Memories,
memories?
favors,
Something
loyalty.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things you could offer.
Yeah.
How about
I,
a conversation with the goddess?
Ooh.
That's not like an irreplaceable thing, though.
Yeah,
It's a unique and rare thing.
It is
but-
unique and rare enough that it might count.
A direct question line to a goddess.
Is it a goddess you would have any interest in, though?
Doesn't matter.
I mean, there's some sort of secret going on there.
I mean, she has some connection to nature, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I could offer information.
Information is also acceptable.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I can.
It's something you can't replace is the like I should have clarified. Something you can't replace is like the upper echelon of these kind of fairy things. It has to be, if it's not that, then it has to be something that really piques his interest.
So something that can't be replaced is like the basic guideline.
Yeah. It's
Something that no one else can just buy. What do you get for the guy who has everything, etc.?
exactly.
Yeah, like the universal theory of magic.
Mm-hmm.
Intriguing tale of a worshipper trying to revive.
Would you like to hear the tale of how the Archdevil Bell, former ruler of Avernus, was dethroned?
The Fairy King observes you. You feel his eyes boring into you. And he says, "If it's told well enough, I might find it amusing."
Oh, good. I have to
But
be a good storyteller when my nerves are on fire. Okay, cool.
Got this, Husk.
I mean, it's just for the privilege of staying around for the Feywild when I don't really have things to do here. But at the same time, having my foot in the door might be useful down the line. So why not?
There is a chance you'll have to offer up something every time you want to come here. It might be a one-time invitation.
Well, as long as I'm just telling the story, not like giving up the information altogether. All right.
So
I mean,
here,
I've already performed this story on, for a session ages ago on a session. So
Mhm. Yes. So here is so based on that, I will give you a +2, and to see how well it is done, performance.
I would like to roll
it's-
help with the performance check,
I'll allow
which
it.
I think can give. Is that a +1 or a +2 for
+2.
helping?
+2.
+2.
What is my?
Ooh, I feel like that's a failure.
It is, unfortunately.
Oh, I wish
My
it
help
was I the saving throw because then you'd get +3 from being near me.
18 performance. Or actually, that's just with my regular bonus. So it'd be 20 with the extra +2.
Yeah, it would be a 20 with that extra bonus.
So I tell the tale of how young Usk made a deal with Avernus for power to defend a tribe of bugbears, and it blew up in his face, so he went down there and just murdered the hell out of Avernus in revenge.
Oberon considers you, his face stone, and he lets out a small chuckle. Very well.
Which is
You may stay.
yeah, just bare my soul to the king of the fairies for the. Okay.
Hey, you got you got the like actual thing that happens when people say lol online. So
Hey, I got the man who was surrounded by whimsy to chuckle. That's not nothing.
He exhaled air out of his nose
in
in an irregular fashion.
in a way that demonstrated some mild amount of amusement.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Jhank, Victor, do you have anything you would like to offer?
I guess I can offer some information that I've been getting on my book. some of the, in a similar fashion, I guess, to what us did, information on that. I've been talking with Shantae about the Undermountain and the plans that we've been putting together and how much everything's been on fire in a dumpster.
All right.
I mean, I think it's like juicy drama that
Yeah.
way. Shantae is like trying to restore herself from the cult that co-opted her.
That is kind of like the
There's, like,
idea that, yeah.
maybe some sort of imposter Shantae that everyone's worshiping, or they
Okay.
just don't realize that she's injured.
So
Anyway,
here is my question. Do you just pass this information along, or do you say it while bringing out your book?
ooh, I would.
Mm.
You know
To
what?
be honest, I don't recommend bringing out the
Don't-
book because
don't-
he might want.
Don't put the book on the table. Don't do that.
Don't.
Well,
I'm not saying offering the book. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
do you pull it out to read from it, or
I'm going to pull it out to read from it, because if I'm getting dragged over here, I might as well go all the way.
As soon as the book is fully pulled out, Oberon points at you and says, "Put that away."
Okie dokie.
All right, because that happened.
What happened?
If you swear that you will not remove that book from your person, I will allow you to stay this time.
Oh. Double
All
swear.
right.
You want a pink?
All right, that happened. Shit.
What happened?
The very first memory that I ever divulged of when I took my Paladin oath, and the book was spitting out ink, and essentially everyone died.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I really want to read that again.
I'll
A
pull
lot
it
of
up
that
later.
was play by post. It was all play by post.
It was all play by post. It's been a
Yeah.
while, but I have it written down, so we can go back over it.
Yep.
Also of note, not necessarily all literally things that happened.
Right.
Undermountain stuff is weird.
It's the body, and it's a book, and it's 3 people that were in that time and place.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. Jhank, do you have anything you offer?
My apologies, I didn't know anything about the invitation thing. They just thought I should be here. I'm perfectly happy to leave.
Jhank playing his cards close to the chest.
Give me a moment.
Maybe a warning of a future invasion that will affect the material realm.
Well,
I mean, he's just mostly thinking. He didn't know there was an invitation requirement, and he didn't want to. He wasn't really interested in coming here in the first place. So if this guy doesn't want him here, he is perfectly happy to skedaddle.
That's fair.
I don't like just booting people out. So
there was that vision that Jhank had about Yuliy going all Feywild.
Mm.
I barely maybe remember what you're talking about.
I know that that's in a note. I don't think.
Yeah.
I remember something about that. I'm asking, is that the kind of thing we'd want him to know? Like, how would that affect? How would that affect Yuliy?
I think that was Jhank Vision version Yuliy.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's just yep.
Junk vision.
Dr. Jhank.
I mean, that'd be a very relevant thing to offer. But we don't know if that's like his fault or
So
not.
Reading that vision again, it seems like one of us stopped being useful, and so Jhank either decided to kill us or leave us somewhere for dead, and then Yuliy took offense at that and tried to kill Jhank.
Yeah, it's weird when you think about it, because it's like it makes it seem like there are and yet it kind of lines up with what's happened with there being different versions of Jhank along this timeline. Like, if you like it makes me imagine that if you somehow figured out the way to do it, you could bring a bunch of different Jhanks from each of these visions together and have just a whole army of him.
Yeah.
I'm reading this, and then the stuff that happened the last 2 times I put the mask on have me really concerned.
That might be when we're 20th level.
Right, obviously.
Jhank, Oberon points at you and says, I do believe I have seen some of your actions through my disciple, as he's looking at Lander.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. 4 of you is so uncomfortable for me. I hate to split a party like this. So for now, I will allow you to stay for one of your figures.
crane.
Just gives him the crane that he just swap sniped.
I mean, could he get away with that?
I doubt it.
You can.
I think he means your actual collection.
But like, yeah, it's hard to tell if he would be amused by you trying it or just annoyed.
You'll never know unless you try.
Honestly, worth a shot. When will the crane ever be relevant again? Try it.
You know what? I will. I'm. Even though it's something that I don't think a Jhank has ever tried before, I kind of want to have him try and pull off trying to do it as like presenting it in the form of a magic trick, like magically, like although now that I think about it, that wouldn't be nearly as impressive in a fantasy setting.
Like sleight of hand it.
They go for it.
Yes,
So
I will.
Yeah, I don't
Present it
know
with
that
a
you're
flourish
wearing
at
any
any rate.
sleeves, so it would be impressive if you managed to pull it out of nowhere without pulling it out of a pocket or something.
Yeah, I will try to sleight of hand, and depending on what it rolls, let's see what we can make happen with it.
Okay.
It's
If
a
it was
decent
really
sleight
low,
of
I
hand
was going
roll.
to suggest it just like gently floats to the ground as you lose your grasp of it.
He
Oberon.
does the. Okay, so could I have him try and do the what's this hiding in your ear with Yuliy and pretend to pull it out of her ear?
If Yuliy consents to it, sure.
My mind is elsewhere. What?
He was going to pull a crane out of your ear.
He's gonna do the what's this hiding in your ear to pretend to pull the crane out of Yuliy's ear.
The paper crane, yeah.
Yeah, like somehow sometimes people pull coins out of others' ears, but with a crane.
Sure.
Like a live crane, by the way.
No.
No, the paper crane.
The paper crane.
Yeah.
Both. Yes. Okay.
Imagine just pulling a live crane out behind someone's ear.
No, I won't. I'm not going to imagine that.
I am. I already imagined it. It was the first thing I imagined. It's really entertaining.
I'm envisioning it in my head right now.
Or a flamingo.
Now the crane has become flamingo.
Anyway,
Oberon
Jhank does a
Oberon-
magic trick.
Oberon accepts your magic trick and gently picks up the crane between 2 very long, basically clawed fingernails. And as he does so, it stretches and grows into a full living crane.
Whoa.
Of course it does.
Jhank will applaud.
The Oberon does not look terribly pleased by your applause. He doesn't look mad, but he does not care.
No,
Well, as long as he doesn't get angry or anything.
Yeah.
So the paper crane story comes full circle.
The paper crane comes full circle.
Paper Crane went on a pretty impressive arc, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Oberon, having accepted your gifts, steps back so that you are not cast in his shadow, and says, "And what brings you to my realm?"
Ah, the actual hard part.
Yeah. So now my question for this is, do we think this is going to take a long time so that we should save it for next session? Or should we go ahead and do it now?
I think it's just I think we're just here to ask one simple question: is one of our shares hidden on this plane?
Well, then there's the question of, if it is, then we have the problem of, how do we get it?
That we might save for next session, but let's ask the question now.
Mm-hmm.
If it ends up that if we have an extended stay and a mission here, then that'll be next session. But
It's like there are also
I
more
think
questions to ask.
so I mean, yeah, there's a lot, but like our like main objective right now is finding the dragon horde stashes. So I'd say that's at the top of the list, but if you want to ask other ones, I'm not going to stop you.
Okay.
So, those of you who was that noise in character, Yuliy?
Might have been.
There. I think there has been sort of a silence where we're all like giving each other meaningful looks. Like, okay, what do we actually want to start with?
Yeah. As soon as during that section of looking and determining what it is you actually want to ask, you see that Yuliy is staring at her mask.
Oh no.
Half of it seems to be withering, although Yuliy, some of you catch a glimpse of Yuliy using lay on hands to halt the process somewhat, and the other half appears to be blooming wildly, the horns growing, budding, flowering. And you also notice that the mask appears to be trying to say something, even though it does not have a voice.
Does that thing try to eat you last time or something?
Can I use telepathy on the mask?
No,
Okay.
you don't get.
Can I try to?
Can you try to read
Can
the
I
lips?
try to read its lips? Yeah.
Sure.
Perception?
Perception.
Where'd I even roll?
Investigation?
Not happening.
Mm-mm.
Could I roll investigation?
No.
Okay.
What week?
Perception. Ooh, something about a weakness.
Not good enough.
Doesn't matter. I just said it.
You got one word out of the full sentence that it is repeating.
Oh.
ceaselessly.
Oh, I don't even know what I rolled. I didn't even see
I don't
what
think
I
you-
rolled.
I don't
It-
think you did roll.
No,
I
she did.
roll.
Oh, we didn't see it.
Or no.
Jhank, you did better than Yuliy did.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the tracker having the best perception, yeah, I can believe it.
I
Oh, you know
got
who hasn't
five.
rolled yet? Victor hasn't rolled yet.
Victor, with
Victor's-
his ludicrously high perception,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
also has not rolled.
I was going to
Assuming-
look to see if there's a taco truck somewhere out here, but I guess I
Yul-
could.
I actually don't see Yuliy having rolled perception.
She did it secretly with the tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's somewhere between 11 and 16.
It's a 12.
Oh.
You rolled a 7.
Uh,
The rolls are not very high with this. So
but Victor and Jhank have high modifiers.
yes. So give me just a
10
half.
11 is a pretty decent. I mean, it's not high, but it's a decent.
Yeah, it's like just it's average.
Slightly above average.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
you get. Oop! I accidentally activated sticky keys while I was trying to type.
Yikes.
Finger stuck.
So, Jhank, you get one more word from Yuliy, or from the mask, I mean, and that word is king. And Victor, you get one more word, which is tolerates.
So king tolerates, and what was the third word?
Weakness.
What?
So probably the king does not tolerate weakness.
Okay.
So
If I had to guess.
you got 3 words of the full sentence, which is decent enough to get something.
How many words is the full sentence?
Difficult to
Don't know.
say, given that it's, not being spoken aloud.
Listen,
Fair.
a lot of my decisions with Yuliy are usually the first thing that comes out of into my head, and I have 2 sentences, and one has a really bad reaction. I really don't want to do it. So I
So
hope I'm wrong.
Oberon looks at the 5 of you and again and says, "I'm waiting."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is someone going to tell him?
Yeah, did one of us store a share of dragons here?
Yes, it was a gift. To me.
Okay. That's what I was worried about.
Okay,
Sorry.
got it out. Got it out. There we go.
You know, Usk, you scream in your
I
own
think
head.
I think
louder than
Usk is
you realize.
speaking on all our behalfs when he makes
Yeah,
that noise.
yeah, just us,
Yeah.
eyes wide, like face perfectly frozen, just subtitles, internal screaming.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Was that gift in what's the word I'm looking for?
Who gave it?
In response?
Non-refundable.
Was that gift in response to anything in particular?
The king pauses for a moment and says, "Yes, it was given to me because I requested it."
Okay.
Did you keep the gift receipt?
However, if it is so important to you, you will all be very happy to know that I'm almost finished with it.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
What? What the hell does that mean?
We're in the Feywilds. What did you expect?
What do you even do with that much gold here, and why would it be done and you can give it back? What?
I'm guessing he's
I like the
cursing it
image of
or
I really
enchanting.
do like the image of this very well dressed bugbear completely
Bugbear.
losing his mind.
Just, I just internally scream, I need that money, damn it.
Now, was it a gift from me or from Yuliy?
It was a gift from my child.
Okay.
Oh, wow, just straight up said it out loud. Okay, good.
I mean, we
Okay.
kind of already knew.
Kinda.
I mean, yeah, but like, I guess it wasn't like confirmed in my head. Suspected, but not confirmed.
I mean, to be honest, this really was a confirmation trip, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way.
Mhm.
Which, all right, so that's Yuliy's share located and tied up, I guess.
Yep.
Not really. Why did I get?
Mhm.
Are you asking that?
Yes, yes, I am because I'm stupid.
Okay.
Oberon smiles, leans over, and pinches your cheek.
Oh, that might be painful.
It kind of is.
This entire
And
entire
This
tr-
is in character.
And Yuliy, you hear something that no one else does.
Oh boy, a whisper.
Outstanding. Yes. Yeah. Imagine, you go with your friend to visit their grandparents, but it's the king of the fairies.
And also, it's her dad, not her grandpa.
Oh yeah, her dad. Yeah.
And also,
I don't
she
know.
wasn't the one bringing you.
Honestly, this entire trip has been worth it just on that alone.
Okay, sure.
I mean,
Hmm.
you can't
Mm-mm-mm.
buy watching the King of the Fairies pinch Yuli's cheek like that.
That's fair. Also, did Yuliy just say in Sylvan out loud, "What job"?
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
I don't have a language that I can hide behind anymore. Now, do I?
I mean, I feel like you do.
I don't.
None of us. Wait, did us
I
pick up
don't.
Infernal?
He did. Specifically
Okay.
because I told him to.
All right.
I did pick up Infernal because you told me to.
Because it
So
also
Usk is
makes
the
sense.
only one that knows Infernal.
Jhank is the
Still
one
deep
who
speech.
can still, yeah.
I mean, I've also
don't know
got
what-
Elvish. No one,
I
or
don't know.
Elvish. Well, no one else knows that for some reason.
No one else knows Goblin.
And the only other person that knows Primordial is Victor.
Yep.
So,
The
yeah.
rest of you don't quite understand what is being said. You just know that something is being said because all of you can feel it in your bones. It is the deep rumbling of the world itself.
Boy, I feel like that's going to be hard to pull off.
Yeah, that's a hard language to learn. the entire Feywild. Yeah.
No, I mean like the red text.
What?
Yuliy pinches Oberon's cheek back. He
Well,
doesn't
I
seem bothered
guess-
by it.
Okay,
I guess
never
that's a
mind.
reconciliation.
Be here, but it's fine.
I guess that's progress. I
Okay.
don't know. I am so confused and worried. And why is it that whenever we get an answer, we get like 5 more questions?
Because
That's my suffering. We've been here for years.
Because we have a lot of because we have a bunch of past lives that were terrible people and did terrible things that we need to clean up.
Yeah.
Mhm. At one point, I was just a cheerful researcher.
at one point.
I mean, aside from the whole ship thing, I don't even know anything. I'm pretty sure I don't even know anything about my past yet.
Yeah, who is this drow that you apparently are an advisor to a future lord to?
I mean, you know about as much as I do.
I was asking that rhetorically. Yuliy just said in Sylvan, our mom's okay, which is great.
He's asking about her mother's.
Our mom's okay is such a great sentence, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Are
great.
they okay? Our mom's okay.
I think I
I like the way that she has 2 moms.
Two moms and one extremely powerful father.
He's being a butt, but fine. I am
Mm.
satisfied.
Okay.
That's better than expected.
Boy, imagine if one
For
of
this
us
trip.
had said that. Anyway.
At this point, Oberon pauses and looks towards his tower. And you see a thin smile spread across his face as he says, "Oh, well, it appears that you all happen to arrive at exactly the right time." And he approaches the tower and simply reaches a hand through the sheer stone wall and pulls out a single dragon before
Yep.
tossing it over to Lander.
King's Tower glimmers with a stolen light. And I grab it.
And he says, "When you require the rest, Lander,
simply place that coin on your book.
All right. I will do so.
Usk, despite being frozen for the last, 8 minutes, lets out a huge sigh of relief.
Now watch you put that coin on your book, and the entire hoard of money just pours right out at you.
I mean, it's gonna flood out of the book. Absolutely, probably. So, yeah.
Faye have the best sense of humor.
We finally got share number 2.
Mm-hmm.
We know where
Yeah.
we basically know where share number 3 is.
Yeah.
And we
You
have an
have
idea.
3 of the 5 shares.
And we know where the
No.
fourth. We know where the Druid share. We got an idea of the fourth one, so we're just missing one.
And that's my
Landers.
share.
That's a
Which
hell
is
of your share.
probably in hell.
Possibly. All right.
All
Oh,
right.
boy.
I think with that, Oberon takes a moment, looks over each of you individually, smirks and says, "Is that all you ask of me?"
One last thing before we go.
He
Do you
waits.
happen to know anything about the reason why Victor and I have swapped bodies?
Oh, have you? I hadn't
Yeah.
noticed.
Another
Okay.
Godseer's true essence thing it.
That'd be nice.
All right, I love this new dynamic, actually.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yuliy being the erstwhile tiefling daughter of a fairy god is funny. I don't know.
Boy, is it nerve-wracking, though. Because, you never know how he really feels. And if he might just, at some point...
Oh yeah, that is the most
Snap.
awful parent-child relationship.
No,
But maybe
I
he
know
really
he's
does
proud
care
of me,
about her.
and I haven't let him down.
Well, that's
Everything's fine.
good.
What?
That's good.
How did you get that?
Well, you see, they had that little conversation that we didn't hear.
Eyelashes innocently. Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have anything else here, or are we ready to go?
Let me just check one last thing.
Lander checks his list of questions. All right, so he's not going to know where... Actually, if he is your patron, he might know if he was with you when he stashed it last.
No,
You
that
might as well ask
was
him if he knows-
he wasn't. Remember, at the time of the no, wait, that was the time of murdering that guy.
Mhm. You don't know exactly what it was with the
Right,
heist.
right.
You know that
Don't
the
know.
murder.
Who were you
the
with?
Murder, the murder happened.
Who was your patron at the time of the heist? Why is this a question?
The murder
third
happened
portal.
after the heist. We know that much for sure.
Yeah,
Because the
we know
whole
the murder.
point of it was getting the Stone of Galore to find the other shares.
But the question is, how many times have I changed patrons? A lot, but we don't know how often.
You might as well
Okay.
ask if he knows where your share is what I'm saying.
Mm.
He might not know, but you might as well ask.
All right. Were you my patron during the heist where we obtained these dragons?
Oberon looks at you like you are asking Oberon looks at you as though you are asking, "Is water wet?" And he says,
So,
as
okay.
dryly as possible,
If you were my subject at the time, do you think you would have left the gold anywhere else?
Fair point. So yeah, there we go.
That is an extremely fair point. Yeah.
Told you.
This is Yuli's share, but we don't he's not going to have a clue where yours is because you were
As I said,
Uh.
it's probably in hell.
Hey, that's more data.
Hey, that's the thing that ties into Usk's quest. Da-dun-dun.
Wait a minute.
So let's just go make a portal to hell and kill Asmodeus and get the dragons back.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's probably in Diz.
Look at all those things I connected long ago.
Great. So
Oh,
now we got
man.
another field trip to a place we don't want to visit.
Second realm
Wait,
of hell.
I don't know how to go to hell.
Well,
A past me might have, but I don't have any of that knowledge anymore.
I think you
Jhank
know
doesn't
quite a few
want
people
to.
who might know.
President Jhank doesn't want to go there.
Just saying, you
Yeah.
might actually know some people who know to do that.
Also, so you're all focusing on the going to hell part. You're not thinking about the reverse. What if you just brought hell here?
Yeah, but
You know,
that's
that
also
sounds like
bad.
That sounds like an equally bad idea.
Oh,
That sounds like two
no.
different books.
you didn't ask. You
that's-
didn't ask me for a good idea.
Hmm.
That's
That
fair.
sounds like the
Well,
plot.
do you have any good ideas?
No.
No.
Okay.
This is ideas, the campaign. Although that probably
Alright, well,
describes a lot of campaigns.
the density, the bad idea density in this campaign is pretty high, as these things go.
I think
Yep.
it's fun. I think it's worth
fun. This, I'll be honest, this Feywild trip has gone like 1,000 times better than I ever expected, given that apparently Yuliy and her dad are just kind of cool now, and we did get finally get a share of the heist back.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, he's said he'll give you a share of the heist back. You don't know for certain, but it's
I mean, we do have a share. It might
Mhm.
just be a share of a share, but we have a share.
yeah. Well,
That one coin.
mhm.
And also Usk's share, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know where two shares. You know where 3 shares are, and 2 you have like immediate access to.
Well,
Listen, we don't have to just get the money in order to save the kids. We
Right.
can totally do multiple different ways that don't involve the money at all.
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
killing Asmodeus.
Yes.
We're not strong enough to kill Asmodeus yet. We're just
I
not.
know. I know.
Crawling.
I'm pretty sure that like killing Avernus like ruined me, and it's only through fortune that I ended up as a ward of the Castellanters, because I was on the streets begging and thieving.
Yeah.
Worth
I'm
noting,
pretty sure
it's
yeah.
not Avernus you killed. That's the layer of.
Oh no,
hell.
right? No, not Avernus. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
Bell.
That was Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, the Archdevil Bell.
So,
Yeah.
who do you think would win in a fight?
Dad.
Oberon or Asmodeus?
Dad.
All right.
I
If you
think
have no other questions, Oberon.
Yeah,
Who's
I'm-
gonna back her dad? My dad can beat up your dad.
We don't know my dad. For all we know, I don't even have a dad.
My dad can beat up your sugar daddy.
Well, your dad is your dad. So you're saying your dad can beat up himself?
Oh boy.
Pretty much just.
And
said your
on
dad
that
can beat
note,
himself.
wait,
Oberon,
yeah, wait a minute. Those are the same person.
Yeah.
Oberon waves a hand, and the 5 of you feel the heat of the summer rising, boiling, and suddenly you are back in Waterdeep, and it is way colder than you remember it.
What?
Yeah,
Let's
I
not
kind of
do
never
that.
noticed that it was winter before.
For a
Mhm.
moment, it was Florida.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, I'm okay with not going back there for a while unless I
Yep.
really have to.
Hey, Hollyhock,
Going
anything
back to
happened
that
while we were
era.
gone?
Hollyhock looks sort of nervous, and you see her slowly slide a guard helmet behind a counter and says, "Nope, everything's fine."
Good to
How
know.
did you have fun without me?
Okay.
Oh,
Do I gotta,
Nope,
Is-
everything's
I gotta bribe
fine.
the constables again?
Is
You
Crunch
heard her,
Bite Crunch Bite there and fine?
Crunchbite is currently chewing on a shin guard.
Well, okay then.
Well, I mean,
all right,
free
fine.
armor.
Tell me what happened next session.
Yeah. Yes.
Next session, the party gets in trouble with the law.
Everyone's in
Again.
trouble with the law, though.
Again.
So would the title Father-Daughter Field Trip be too long?
It'll be too long, yeah.
Okay.
How about just field trip, fairy field trip?
Fairy Field Trip might
I
work.
don't, we went on a couple of field trips today.
We did.
I don't know.
And there's a part of me that like a similar one to the daddy daughter field trip would be daddy daughter Faye, but that's still probably too long.
Yeah.
We should probably do the end stream thing before we do this.
That's fair.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc., etc. We aim to live stream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with another session of Shadow Trot.